The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings, the Holiday Edition, Week 16, spread picks and preview. If you out there want to help out the show, all you need to do is smash the like button of the episode in the comment section. Give me your favorite spread or over-under or your favorite clip from this, along with the time code to help us fill out the best of 2020, because that is coming soon. But Jeffrey, I have some big announcements.
Let's hear them.
For the show. As of right now, today, the big one and done tournament is open for registration. There's only 3,300 spots, so they're going to fly off the shelves.
So I need to set an alarm for my phone because you gave me like
early
access
gave
like
you
a week ago,
and you still haven't done it.
Still haven't done it.
So
I heard someone actually beat me to signing up, which is kind of embarrassing in and of itself.
I may have been lying about that. I don't think, Tim, you haven't signed up yet, have you?
I don't know how, but our friend has.
Don't know how.
I told you, he's going to send him like $100 in the mail, and that's how it's going to work. So here's the deal. If you go to fantasygolfchampionship.com, it's $100 to play for the entire season. It starts at the Sony Open and goes all the way through the BMW Championship. I realize this is a football pick show, but if you play fantasy and you like season-long contests, this is the thing for you. You can play up to 5 teams in it. Like I said, there's 3,300 spots. Top prize is $30,000, $300,000 of guaranteed money in the prize pool. I worked on the payout structure with a lot of people, and we tried to make it as flat as possible. So if you come second, you don't feel like you're getting ripped off by any means. If you come anywhere inside the top 15, you're going to have a very nice payday for a season-long contest. And the way that you need to think of it, it's $100 for the year of golf. It's like $2 a week. So play up to 5 entries. Just jam it all in. The DraftKings Listeners League link for Week 16, the main slate, is in the description of this video too. But yeah, fantasygolfchampionship.com. And the big thing is I will release a tweet sometime on Wednesday to give people a potential of a free entry into this tournament, and we'll give out the winner probably on Boxing Day, a nice Christmas surprise for one lucky person out there to get their free entry. But I wouldn't wait around for that free entry. Maybe that's like a nice add-on or something like that, because I'd go get your spot right now. But you want to be following at the PME on Twitter to find out how you can get your free entry into the Fantasy Golf Championship. Do you think that any of us will cash in it?
Never.
I say no. We never do. Tim won money like 2 years ago.
Yes.
I do pretty good at meeting a quota of winners. I'm quite proud of that throughout the year. Historically, I am
dog shit,
atrocious in one and done. I never take my own advice, our advice. Out of the gates, I get way too cute every year after recording multiple shows telling you guys, like, no, there's so many players. Like, you'll get
just
to
take
the Tour
stars.
Championship.
That's what I do.
Guys will develop. All those young kids that maybe you didn't think you were going to use a year ago, you would have been thrilled to be able to fire off
like
last year.
Like at the end of this year, you could have used like Russell Henley and
Harris English. Yeah, like guys just emerge. So don't worry about it. Sure, if you want to like think about the majors, but don't be afraid to just keep giving her. Again, I'll start the season using like who's the biggest loser? Oh no, we're at Sony, not TOC.
Yeah.
I'll still pick a loser the first one.
Yeah, so will I. I'll galaxy brain myself.
Ricky?
Ricky won't be in Hawaii, although he should be.
No, he won't be because he's not in the TOC.
Yeah, you know what? He's like 53 in the world. He might need to go to Sony.
Yeah, maybe so. So fantasygolfchampionship.com, $100 to play, 5 max entry. Highly suggest you play in that. If you don't know anything about golf, I still suggest you go play because it's an awful lot of fun. Me and you and 5 of our closest friends did a fantasy golf draft in a 2-part series that will be coming out Monday and Tuesday next week. Christmas Day, as it has been for the past 3 years, now the 4th year in a row, a very custy Christmas, a brand new Cust Corner for everyone coming out on Christmas Day, featuring not Geoff, Paul, myself, Garion, and Tim Cust.
Tim Cust.
That's not my name.
But you're going to be on that show, though.
Well, if I'm not, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
We can have a Cust impersonator, like they have Elvis impersonators.
Would they sound like Christopher Walken when he comes on the show?
We've already lost a story today. Like, I'll give a bit of a teaser. Like, Tim's already saying something he was going to share today. He's now throwing on to that show.
There we go.
It's a good story.
I'm jealous. I won't get to be a part of it, but I'll be watching when it drops.
Are you still doing your show throughout the holidays?
Wednesdays. The Friday shows just because the dates that they fall on. Friday is Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And then I guess next Friday is
New
Year's Day.
I got a thing that's saying the Wednesdays will stick, Fridays will not. Tomorrow night, if you're watching this as it's dropping on Wednesday 10 p.m., ftndaily.com, I will be doing a 2-box Prison Break on my show.
What? What's in this package you have here underneath the table?
This is something that arrived for me in the mail from the very successful Prison Break last week that I was a part of. So
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
you were.
excited to open up that exciting box, and we'll be there.
Well, someone else has a mystery box that they have to open. I thought you were going to save your Chargers one for the show, but you couldn't help yourself. You put it up on Twitter. Tim has been sitting on a box for, I want to say 6 days now, Tim?
Correct. I got it Wednesday afternoon.
So for one of the very few times throughout the course of the year, we're going live via satellite to the log cabin of Tim Andercust to see him open up this box and what's inside of it. It's poison.
So should I open this or what?
Are you on video?
No, but I can be.
Why would I want you to open the box not on video?
Okay. I'm on video.
Give Paul a second. I assumed you had this all prepped.
I have the box. I have the video.
I'm just very curious to see what this camera shot looks like. There are so many triggered people who be like, why aren't the pics at? Why aren't you getting to the pics yet?
Okay.
There you are. Oh, yeah. You got the nice mic stand. There you go. There's your Canada Post box.
Yes, it is.
Cabin.
All right. In your log cabin. Let's see it. Open up your box. Do an unboxing.
He keeps it pretty dark in there.
He is born in the darkness.
Okay. Here's what we got in here. First, we have.
Oh.
That drop. I'm the worst.
Jesus
I'm absolutely
Christ,
the worst.
man.
I'm the worst. Sorry. I don't get a lot of opportunities opening gifts. First, we have a Masters tumbler.
Straight from Augusta National, and the person who included that as a gift, especially for you, wants to see you drink a DC out of it.
Is that so?
That was the
Okay,
stipulation.
Well, then. Okay, fair enough.
I like how he had that prepped.
There it is. Like he's pouring a beer, right?
Yeah,
There's like
you can't have that
side
foam
pour,
on the
like
top.
It's a cherished.
No, that's how you can tell somebody who is a JV carbonated drinker is if they don't pour it from the side. Cheers.
There you go.
Cheers. Oh yeah.
There's more in that box, too. Oh, I thought he was going to pound it all the way back.
He does like a third of a can in a sip. There's no way he drinks 2 a day.
Drinks 20.
Next, an
All right,
Augusta baseball cap.
That one is not for you. That is the gift for someone else.
Okay, well, I wish it best of luck then.
Well, I assume you wouldn't want to wear that type of hat.
No. Then another one, same as the one the caddies wear, the green Augusta baseball cap.
That one is for you.
Hooray! What else have we got in here? Oh my God. I have a plastic bag filled with cutlery from various restaurants.
Yes.
Plastic forks, knives. I actually think this is very useful,
I know. That's why I sent it to you.
and we'll be using them. You can mock me all you want.
I'm not
but
mocking
like
you.
this-
Why do you think I sent it to you?
Well, I appreciate it. That is very, very, very much appreciated. I love me some forks and knives that are disposable. I have a bag of pistachios.
From?
Oh, no, that's a lie. Those are potato chips from Augusta National.
There you go.
I probably will never eat them.
Why not?
But I will keep them as a souvenir
Whoa,
on my
that's pretty
stand.
Cool.
Well, I can get you some.
That
of
is
those,
very
too.
cool.
An overflowing bag of potentially stale potato chips. What else
And
is in
then
there?
another bag of Augusta potato chips. Maybe I'll give one bag to our friend who's getting the hat, so he'll have 2 things.
Okay.
That would be the generous thing to do. Ah, pièce de résistance, a polo shirt from
very
Augusta,
sharp.
green,
You can go-
very sharp.
You can go green on green like your white on white Ernie Els outfit that you wear.
makes me look like I'm on the Sunshine Tour.
There's still there should be one more thing in there. There we go.
Peeps.
Oh, there it is.
Out of commission
So-
peeps.
It is perhaps one of the greatest Christmas treats that you can get is the peeps. These aren't the Christmas peeps, but I love them. The key with these, folks, is to open them the day before and let them get a little stale, get them a little bit hard. They have a better crunch and hit your palate better. So, one of my Christmas tips to you, and I'll have a set of Christmas tips that I've devised for our next show, but a Christmas tip when you're eating peeps, let the air get to them, make them a little hard. More peeps.
It's a lot of peeps. Oh, he's fired up.
Even more peeps. That's amazing. I will treasure those.
Break
And
into
then
them.
a series of more knives and forks and spoons, which again, I appreciate. Where are you getting all these things from?
Everywhere.
You'd be surprised how much takeout I've been ordering since the pandemic started.
Well, I appreciate
I've been
that.
saving
We
it
know
all
that-
for you.
We know that Geoff likes to frequent one particular local restaurant, so maybe he's been getting it from
I'm
there. I
not
don't
allowed
know.
anymore.
Anyway, should I turn the video off? Keep it on? What do you want me to do?
You can turn it off. The people have seen enough.
Even for my birthday, I was told I wasn't allowed.
Can I now get a critique on the shot?
You
For
want
someone who
you to
doesn't know how to stage these things, did that look
critique,
good? Did that not
please?
look good?
I mean, you're in the dark, so that's never great for
Well,
video.
no, I have a light above me here.
Like you're being interrogated by police.
I mean, if we're gonna be completely honest, your camera kind of looked like shit, but that has to do probably with the lighting, which was very, very
Well, it's
dark.
also-
Not full out darkness, but very, very dark in there, Tim.
It's dark, but I kind of like it a little bit dark
I
in
mean,
the house.
It falls in line with your take on this time of year.
This is both the best time and the worst time. Worse because it's about to get lighter, and that sucks. But the best that it's really short right now, and that's great. I'm soothed, and I'm genuine. I feel like that. People like I have one of those heavy blankets that you wear sometimes that like it provides like a soothingness and a calm feeling. That's what I get when I see a sunset at 4:45.
Oh my God.
I feel like it's like Mother Nature is giving me a big old bear hug. That's how I feel. So if anything, I feel upset and annoyed when it's like 9:15 outside in July and it's sunny. I was like, the worst is like on Canada Day when we have these big fireworks and like you've got to wait till all hours till it gets dark enough to fire off a firework. And by like 9 o'clock, you're ready to go to bed. And you can't do that.
I've been releasing vintage Cust Corners up. There's an exclusive Cust Corner podcast feed, by the way, if you just want Cust Corners and all the old episodes. I've been throwing them all up. They're all up on Mayo Media Network as well. We're trying to get to 20,000 subs by the end of the year. I don't know if we're going to get there or not. So we need help from you people out there. If you're watching and you haven't subbed, please go sub to the YouTube channel Mayo Media Network. The one that I just threw up were Tim's things to barbecue rankings with me and you. It was from like 2018, but he talked about the pre-cooked ribs that he likes to barbecue, but then it turned out he couldn't turn on a barbecue.
No, but I can barbecue. Just because you can't turn it on doesn't mean you can't barbecue. I can do the barbecuing once it's turned on for me. That's like saying, well, you can't start a car, so you can't drive. Well, that's
It's
not
like
true.
his.
Driving and starting a car are two separate things.
It's very familiar or similar to like his Amazon theory. He can like open his front door and receive a package by picking it up, but he wouldn't know how to like buy anything or send a package.
Well, he's afraid to put his credit card online because he's 90 years old.
I don't need identity theft.
Well, it's going to be really tough for him because one of the games this week, I believe San Francisco and Arizona, is an Amazon Prime / Twitch exclusive. So he's going to have to phone his brother to stream it for him and like FaceTime him in so he can
really
watch it.
hope
There's
that in
no way
Canada-
that's in Canada though.
Now in Canada, we'll have it on TV.
See, that's the thing.
Now,
He's
it doesn't-
lucky.
I don't- It doesn't
that
look
respect.
like it. I went on my TV and like fast forwarded like the guide channel several days to see, and they have the early game and the late game, but the middle game isn't shown. But I don't know whether that's because it's not going to be. I remember when they had the game on the YouTube that it wasn't on TV, that you had to go on the website.
The
to see it.
MLB games, you mean?
No. Remember the NFL? One of those stupid London games was exclusively on YouTube.
No, it was on Yahoo, wasn't it?
Yahoo. That's
And
what it
that
was. Sorry, it
wasn't
was
on
Yahoo.
TV in Canada?
It was on. It was on.
No,
like,
I think it was only on television in the markets in which the games are.
It was also on like Sunday Ticket and DAZN and stuff
Okay.
like that.
So
if you
I'm
have
sure-
the package, you're fine.
Just expect a hurried, panicked text from me in the middle of the afternoon on Boxing Day asking where I can see this game, because I'm not going to have any idea.
Like I said, he's gonna have to get his. And the thing is, I don't think you actually even need Amazon Prime in order to watch it. I think you just have to go onto like the Prime website. I don't think you need the subscription.
No, I think that's probably true. You just click, because they should be, like the Yahoo one and other things. They're usually free at the point of viewing, because they want people to watch it.
So, what was a better Christmas gift, Tim? The package I just sent to you, or the Jumbo Jets getting a big win?
I mean, do you want to talk about that now? Because I have quite a long disquisition to get into. So if you want to get into it, we can, or we can wait.
I think we should just start with this. This is what people are tuning in for.
Okay. So obviously there has been, and understandably so, there has been a lot of, anger and tears, most of which is performative, by the way. And by that, I mean sort of like people are performing for others online. That the Jets had the darkest day in their history by winning a football game. And it strikes me that is, in one sense, I mean, on the most superficial level, I get it, right? The win means you're far less likely to get the first pick. You're far less likely to get Trevor Lawrence. But as soon as you push on that argument, even a little bit, what you find is that it isn't based on anything. Let me put it this way. What would you have done differently? If you're a Jets fan like I am, who is so crestfallen that they won, what would you have liked to have seen the Jets do differently? What should the players have done differently? What should the coaches have done differently? What should the management team have done differently before that game? If the answer is there's nothing they could have done differently, and that is, of course, the answer, because the players are going to try to win, and the coaches are going to try to win, and management is never, ever, ever going to tank a game in the NFL, then what are you getting upset about? Just the outcome? Is it mere consequentialism? It was always going to happen if the team played well, and the Rams didn't. The Rams didn't want to lose that game. They played and they lost. The Jets players wanted to play and they won. What did you expect to happen? Did you really want professional players to risk their lives? And when they do, they play football. You risk serious injury or worse when you play in order for them to lose? That's not an option available to us. In fact, that's kind of ghoulish if you think about it. What's available to us is, what is it that the team itself is trying to do? It is trying to win football games. It's never going to try to not win football games. So in one sense, why are you getting upset or mad? That seems dumb on its face, because you could never have done it any other way. You couldn't have changed it. Secondly, it's as if we're entitled to the first pick overall. No, we're not. We only get the first pick if that's the way it works. Jacksonville's been trying every single week too, and they only have one win. And if it falls the way it does, that Jacksonville gets the pick, good for the Jaguars. They've earned it then in that sense. It's theirs. The Jets didn't get it. If this is the year that 1-15 isn't good enough for the first overall pick, then that's how it is. On a fan level, I was happy to see that the team won't go 0-16. Anyone who tells you that there's no difference whatsoever between going 4-12 and 0-16 to get the first pick doesn't know what they're talking about, and should probably stop talking and think a little bit about what that means. That is a black mark that doesn't wash off. It is a humiliation for the franchise that never goes away. And for what? A quarterback who may be excellent. Yes, he may be. But this is not the first time we have heard, this is the best quarterback prospect since John Elway. I've heard it several times. And without fail, those quarterbacks tend not to be, the best quarterbacks ever. Andrew Luck was excellent. How many Super Bowls did the Colts go to? None. Now, Manning got to 3 Super Bowls. He won 2. Great. But the list is short. And the black mark is long. It's forever. It doesn't go away. So I celebrated as a Jets fan in concert with the team that was celebrating because they won, with players that I like because they won. And maybe we get the second pick. Okay. Well, then you know what? Those people who are claiming, and again, I think mostly for attention, I don't know how many people genuinely believe it, that it was the darkest day in Jets history. Does that mean if we draft Panay with the second pick and the team plays really well with some of the other draft picks we have, that you're not allowed to participate in the happiness of the team? I don't know. Is it? You've already castigated the team for doing something that they were always going to do. It's so ludicrous. I mean, like I said, there's a superficial sense in which you're annoyed the team won because it hurts the draft pick. But as soon as I've tried to do here, you sort of break it down into its components. What you find is that there was never going to be any other way. There was no other cards to play. There was no other options available. And the team may do just fine with the second pick. Either they trade it and get a bunch of picks and stick with who they've got, or they draft a quarterback and they trade the quarterback and they try to rebuild the team. Who knows? It's all perform. And there's also, I should note, 1/8 of the season left. And the Jaguars might win again. And we might lose it. And we might lose the rest of our games. That can happen. All is not lost here. The sad sack somberism of, oh my God, I hate this team, is exhausting and lame and unimaginative. And there was a wonderful article in SI, and I tweeted it out, it was by Connor Orr this week, which was that, Jets fans may be upset, but football fans should rejoice that the Jets won this game, because it shows teams don't tank, teams play hard in every game they're in, and the players want to win. There's nothing that would be more injurious to the sport than tanking. Thank goodness it doesn't happen in pro football. It would be the worst thing if it happened in pro football. And the Jets are an example of, just because it might be in their narrow self-interest in one sense for the franchise not to win, it's in everyone's interest for them to win. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know why you're bringing up that the Irish are in the playoffs, by the way.
I mean, look at his stats against your beloved Irish, though.
Whatever.
25 for 36,
great
322 yards, win by 24 points, and he had 14 rushes for 91 yards and a touchdown on top of that. You don't want that guy? You watched him less than 24 hours before. You don't want that guy. He absolutely curb-stomped you guys.
I never said I didn't want him. In what world it would be great if we ended up with the first overall pick. But you certainly don't stack the decks to make it happen. And you certainly don't criticize or get upset when the team is doing exactly what it's trying to do. Like I said, if you want to claim it's the darkest day ever in the franchise, you tell me what you would have done differently as a coach or player or manager. And the answer is you would have done nothing different on Sunday, because nothing different could have been done. And otherwise, you have to accept the world as it is and the teams as you find them. I just find the whole argument, again, to be wholly superficial, wholly based on consequentialism. And I don't find it convincing. I think it's actually pretty lame. So I celebrate the win. I think it's good for everybody in football that the Jets won, and we move forward. So I hope I've laid out sort of in a sequential way where my thinking is on this and why I think it's for the best that we won.
That's a nice way to spin it, Tim. We all know that Jets fans are just in the tank right now. They're bummed out. They wanted to get Trevor Lawrence. It's unlikely. There's a 33% chance that maybe they can still get Trevor Lawrence in the circuit. But you already guaranteed they'd win this week, so that's not going to help matters whatsoever.
Yeah, but I also said that, as I said to Geoff earlier, I said that when I thought they'd go into the game winless. That does change the calculus. But anyway, I'm not spinning anything. I don't feel down in the dumps and upset. This is how I felt the second that they won. And I wanted them to win because this is, I think, best for everyone involved. If we don't get Trevor Lawrence, so be it. It wasn't meant to be. Jacksonville gets him then. And like I said, it's not stamped on the Jets' birth certificate that they have the right to the first pick this year. It's not fair for us to try to game the system to prevent a Jaguars team from having it. Let the worst team get it. And if it's the Jags, then so be it. It's something about being an adult and standing up tall and saying, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
This is where you're choosing to be an adult?
On this one, yes. I found some of the behavior of Jets fans to be reprehensible. Reprehensible in terms of football.
You were against anybody being upset about it. Listen, you make valid, truthful statements. We all, even Jets fans, we understand the players practice, they go into the games, they want to execute, it's on tape, they're still being evaluated for future jobs. I have no doubts the players try to win the games. I have no doubts the managers, the coaches, everyone involved in game day operations is trying to make an effort to win the football game, to win every play. And at the end of the game, you add up the plays and you try to win the game. I get that. That makes total sense. And you're right. Sure, it's a great sign. No one wants to see a team tank. So the most positive thing I took from it, from what Tim's like entire rant was, yes, as like just a natural fan of the league, we saw on a couple occasions this week, no one's tanking. Maybe the big favorites were, but there was effort on the football field by the bad teams. But your take that fans shouldn't be upset, I don't agree with that. I think it was a horrible day in the history of the New York Jets if it cost them the right to get you're counting Luck's Super Bowls. That's not fair.
Yeah, you forced him to retire. That's not fair.
Listen, Andrew Luck, I was a Charger fan. I don't really remember how that season went. God willing, they had the first pick and weren't forced to take Ryan Leaf instead of Peyton Manning. But Andrew Luck is really the quarterback in my really knowing football that was a prospect that was a can't miss. And I would say for the most part, the evaluators were right, just like they were on the two can't miss before him in Elway and Peyton. So 3 times since the 80s, there have been 3 can't miss quarterback prospects, and Trevor Lawrence is apparently the 4th. And in my opinion, they're 100% right. These scouts on when they absolutely in unison decide for pretty much 3 years a guy's going to be first overall. In my opinion, it seems like it's a can't miss, and you missed it.
Sure, but I agree. And I understand.
I also think it fucks the coach.
But what are you going to do?
I think now your coaching situation is exponentially less attractive.
Agreed.
I don't know that that's true. I mean,
now you're going for Caldwell and Marvin Lewis, and you're happy about that. That's fine. But a week ago, I was confident you guys were going to go for the moon with a coach that wanted to attach himself to Trevor Lawrence. And guess what, Tim? You're not the only loser. I'm going to be a loser too. I'm going to be a loser too with a cold scalp all freaking winner. The Chargers are about to run the table, and they're going to have content. Pat's going to have his content. You're not getting the quarterback, and I'm keeping my loser coach. And we had hope, and it's gone. And I was so excited. I was so excited for me and for you. We were going to flip the tables. We were going to flip the script. We were going to go from the dog shit house to the one of the upper floors with what was going to happen. My quarterback and you getting Lawrence. And it's all fucking over. It's all over. You should know. I'm still talking. I want to finish something. We saw something this week that is profound, I think, in how badly you fucked up and how badly you shouldn't want to be here again. And it's as simple as a team you probably despise in the Cleveland Browns. They picked right in front of you. They took another quarterback. They even made a horrible coaching decision over the last 3 years. They've now put Baker with 3 head coaches in 3 years, but they've come out of it in a great spot. And the Giants, who they played on Sunday night, drafted 2nd. And they're shit. And you're shit too, and you drafted 3rd. And you're back there again. And I don't know how you spin this as any positive whatsoever. Fields isn't also ran. Fields isn't also ran. Fields might be amazing. Fields might be amazing. But he's just like every other really good quarterback prospect of our time. Some of them hit. A lot of them don't. I have I don't know where to go. To me, it's just, I have no idea. Maybe he's good, maybe he isn't. There's no comparison here.
Okay, but you said we effed up, and that means we made a mistake. But what mistake did we make?
No one involved. I don't know. You're right. There's nothing anyone could do.
You can't call it an F up if you can't think of something they should have done differently, and it would have happened the same way.
We just saw the rainbow. The light was there. You were near the finish line.
But some things aren't meant to be.
It's like there's a vaccine soon, and you want to go lick floors at Walmart.
But
that's what you did. I don't know. I don't know why this close to the finish line you licking door handles.
But that's a question of agency, right? Someone choosing to do something that will be injurious to themselves. But the team was always going to do this. And if you were in charge or any other Jets fan in charge, they were always going to do the same thing. So that's why I reject. I think it's you. I disagree. We've got the wrong language we're using to talk about.
Maybe, but I disagree with something else you've said. The more I think about it, if you go 0-16, you're Bernie Madoff scum. If you go 3-13, you're like that guy that stole from people in squares on the Super Bowl a couple years ago. You're still a scumbag. You're still a scumbag.
Okay,
Like,
but
I
if
get
you
it.
don't
One
think
might
there's
stick
orders
a
of
little
magnitude
harder and
different.
longer, but you're still shit. So, and this isn't like if Clowney's the number one prospect, I get it. 0-16, never. Not for that, never. I don't want to wear that stink. For Trevor Lawrence, you've got to be willing to wear the stink. The stink.
Okay.
I would have swam in it. I'd have swam in it.
What-
I'd have been a Jet fan in disarray. I would have been.
Well, I'm
And-
not. They're
and-
going to go 1-15, and if that's not enough, then congratulations to Jacksonville. That's that they deserve him. Then why should I like hold it against the Jaguars because our team did what they're supposed to do? Like again, it's so presumptuous of Jets fan to think that we had some sort of sovereign right to Trevor Lawrence. No, we didn't. We didn't have a right to him. He only got to be ours if things worked out the right way. To T.S. Eliot, right? The right thing for the wrong reason is the greatest treason. I don't feel bad at all about it. No one should. You have to be stoical about these things. Yeah, I wish had it turned differently. I wish the other day on my scratcher I had won $5,000, not $20. But it is
More
what it is
scratchers?
sometimes.
Yeah, more
It's
scratchers.
always gotta
More
be that way.
scratchers. Okay.
It was die. Sometimes the die is cast, and you just have to be a stoic about it and say, okay, it is what it is.
I also don't
And
think
that's how I
that
feel about
0-16 is like the end of the world. There's too many. It's happened now.
Not the
twice?
end of the world.
It's happened like twice in the past 10 years. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not the end of the
It was
world.
a big deal.
but
It was a big deal when it happened to the Lions because it was the first time that it had happened
In, like,
so
our
long.
lives,
But then the
yeah.
Browns did it. Now like the Jets did it. Who cares?
Well, you can say that from the outside looking in, but as a fan, I'm sorry, it does linger and it follows the franchise for. So be it.
I
Like,
will-
Oh, he looks handsome.
I really
now.
am not
really
upset
good
about.
in
I'm
those
not upset about
colors.
it.
Thankfully,
I'm not upset about it.
I guess I will congratulate you unless you were lying. Like it seemed like you really did resist going full in. You weren't like
Oh,
mentioning to me that you
oh,
were
no,
I
watching
have been
Lawrence
saying for
YouTube
weeks-
packages.
He was 3 weeks ago. He was talking
Yeah.
about buying Lawrence prisms.
I-
So
'cause I
well, he's
thought we were
saving the
gonna
card
get-
hobby. That's the one
I mean, I thought
positive.
we were gonna.
The trading card
thought-
hobby is saved because Tim might not need to buy a Lawrence prism next year.
I mean,
Won't be
I thought
cursed.
we would get him, but I've been saying all year I didn't think the team would go 0-16 because it's so darn hard to go. If it's our bad luck that we go 1-15 and don't have the first pick overall, you know what? Them's the breaks. You play the hands you're dealt, and that's all there is to it. I think you've got to be
So
mature.
now
about
you
these.
really want to go 3-13, trade the pick, or use more, take the best
Well, it
player
doesn't
on the
matter-
board and keep Darnold,
it-
right?
It doesn't matter what I want.
No, but I'm asking
What
you what you
matters-
want.
I don't care whether they win or not. I mean, I want them to play their best.
Do you want that now that they can't get Lawrence? Do
they
you
can,
want
but they can get Lawrence.
But they can't.
if they
the
can't
Jaguars-
get Lawrence,
they
you
may.
want Sam Darnold opening day with a new coach and all the toys that
I
you are
haven't
obsessed
decided
with.
yet. I think right now, if I had to choose, I would take Panay, the left tackle, at 2, and give Sam 2 great protectors and roll the dice with a coach who, particularly, you're hiring to coach that quarterback. And that's, I think, what I would do. But you also have the luxury of hiring the coach first. If you can't find a good coach that you think you can hire who wants Darnold, well, at that point, you can hire a coach to go after Fields. If you think that, okay, Darnold's not a reclamation project.
You know, there's stories that that Sean McVay wants Darnold.
No shock. No shock.
I mean, I will give credence to Darnold's probably better than Jared Goff.
And like
I
the
don't
whole
know.
LA Southern California connection, it could be a cheap option for them. I don't know, something
Maybe.
thing there I've seen
So,
at a few
There are
places.
creative opportunities here for the franchise, and I don't shy away from those things.
Since you are the
It's
senior
interesting.
how teams are doing this season ranker, are the Jets no longer having a top 3 season of everyone?
If they
overall?
can't get, listen, I'll be honest. If they can't get Lawrence, to me, it's like all hope is gone. It's one of the worst seasons the worst season in the league because the team drafting 2, yeah, they literally go from like 3 to 32. If they can't get Lawrence, the Chargers keeping Lynn, well, there's a moniker of hope that yes, having Justin Herbert monicum of hope that, okay, we still got the franchise quarterback. I'm excited. All hope, I think, is lost.
Well, here's something for you, all right? This is what you need to be rooting for right now. The Chargers have covered consecutive games after failing to cover in 6 straight games. Good coaches win, great ones cover. Bad coaches do neither. 7 of the 8 past coaches fired were under 500 against the spread in their final 5 games with the team that fired them. The Chargers need to not cover each of the final 2 games for that to be the case.
They're going to, if Denver's on a 5th string secondary, we're going to kick shit them, and we're going to roll the Chiefs playing nobody week 17. Like, I'm telling you.
This is
and
what
I'm not happy about it.
We won
I'm
4
lose
pointless games at the end of the year.
I'm going to lose a top 10
7
pick.
and 9.
I'm going to keep a coach. And then, like, the only thing will be I'm going to lose my hair. And, like, the only thing, I will not have hope. Maybe come the spring, you'll get me, you'll wheel me up to get excited. Because, hey, they went 7-9, like, with that loser and no Derwin and so many injuries. Like, how can I just not be excited? But any legitimate hope that we're closer to the fix is gone. And I think there are 2 I mentioned the Browns before as an example for the Jets when talking about just how drastically things have gone differently where they are, and the Jets are going to be back picking where they were picking 3 years ago. Potentially still looking for a quarterback probably, is you just look at where the Browns, like they just got the coach, a smart coach, and they're just taking off.
And they might miss the playoffs.
Whatever, they're going in the
division.
right direction. And Tim brings up a good point, although to me personally, that I don't think is fair, because I do think the Chargers are probably in a much better state in terms of the roster than the Jets were a year ago when this season ends. But the Jets found a way to go 7-9 last year. It kept Adam Gase, and it just delayed the inevitable. And same with like Dan Quinn in Atlanta. Like, why delay the inevitable? I can only hope having Herbert changes what like the team can be, and therefore changes who the coach should be. But we'll talk about it. But they're going 7-9, and I'm gonna be cold on the scalp this winter. I don't know. We can make a plan. We'll do it.
I got my shears ready.
We're not going like we're going low, but I'm not like bicking.
We going like this low?
Yeah, but I'm not bicking.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Yeah.
What,
Okay,
what,
3's fine.
what does Mrs. Fienberg think about
She
this?
doesn't know. She can't believe it. She's not happy. She likes
she doesn't
me.
know?
Part of my hair is like one of my appeals. I got very few redeeming qualities, Tim.
So she doesn't know, or
She
she
kind
does
of
know?
knows. She doesn't like believe that it's real.
Oh no!
The thing is, we apparently we ran the table to finish 7-9 and still fire Norv. Like sometimes the decision has been made, and what the fuck is gonna beating a dickless Falcons team, a dickless Raiders team, a dickless Broncos team, and a nobody's around Chiefs team? Like it's not like there's a redeeming win there. There's
Will that
other
mean the
bad
45
teams.
Will that mean the 45-0 loss to the Patriots will no longer
That's
be
what
one
I'm
of the
fucking
greatest
talking
Chargers
about.
history?
No, it won't be. It'll be a day that somehow. Listen, it can't be. I would be on hand and knee to make sure this happens because I believe we could take off with the right puzzle piecer. Take off.
Players who actually play.
What does that imply?
It doesn't imply, it's a statement.
Oh,
Players
yes,
who
I
actually
agree.
play.
I agree. Injury luck is required.
He's making fun of Derwin James.
That's
Or Bosa, who again missed time in the game.
Oh, no, the guy got a concussion.
And now they're forcing
But
him to
again,
play
my
this
point
week.
was he doesn't play.
He better not play. Shut him down.
They said they're not shutting him down though. That was the report I read today.
Shut him down.
We got a coach trying to save his job, Jeff.
Keenan Allen's gonna blow out his hamstring. Bosa's gonna suffer from the dizzies the rest of his life. It's not gonna be great. Paul,
Can we get power rankings for who is having the best NFL season right now?
I assume Jacksonville's
Listen, I can't. Yeah, Jacksonville shoots up pretty high. There's the Super Bowl winner. Then there's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then there are teams with good programs who can win a playoff game. If you're Cleveland, I give you credit. If you're Buffalo, teams like Buffalo, Miami, and Cleveland already to me are winners. They don't need to win a playoff game.
I would say Tennessee is up there too.
Yes, Buffalo. Here's the thing: if Buffalo goes one and done in the playoffs, I'll think they had a way better season than Paul did.
Well, they went 1 and done in the playoffs last year.
I'm just saying, now there's like an expectation there. To me, Allen is developed. McDermott's a great coach. The program's going in the right direction. The division can be theirs now that Lawrence isn't in it for an extended period of time. This is a very good season for the Bills. Would it be fun for them and their fans to go on a bit of a playoff run? Absolutely. But to me, season's a success.
Well, let's save that for postseason. Maybe that'll be one of our shows where you grade all of the teams in the seasons that they have.
Yeah. I still
We'll
think
give them a letter grade.
if the Chargers go 7-9 and fire Lynn, the season is very
So it all hinges on whether they fire Lynn or not.
Yes. I mean, there's still a listen, if they had got a franchise quarterback.
What if they hire Adam Gase?
If they acquired a franchise quarterback in the 2020 calendar year, this season is a success. It was a good year for the franchise. If they can fire Lynn, it was a really good year. If they keep Lynn, it was just they got a franchise quarterback. You have to say that's a very big, important step.
Okay, let's fly through these games. Actually, no, the recap from last week. I went 10-4.
There's so many games this week.
Oh yeah, there's 16. I went 10 and
no
6.
more buys.
I went 10-6. I'm up to 122 and 100. Jeff was 7-9. He's at an even 111 and 111. Tim, you were 6-10, 101 and 121. The coin was also 6-10, 97 and 125 for the coin. We all actually no. Jeff won his Superlock. Tim and I lost again.
Got to bet the Chiefs at a
Oh,
field
I thought I
goal or
pushed.
something.
No, you had Seattle minus 5.5.
Yeah, that was a loss.
Oh, I thought it was -5. I'm
No,
sorry.
That's
and
what it
a
closed
half.
at. That's not what it was in
Fair
the
enough.
show.
Fair
It's just like
enough.
Jeff would have pushed, but he got it 2.5.
Yeah,
They
no,
won
fair
by
enough.
a touchdown.
The Chiefs? They won by 3.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I got the early, but that was, yeah.
That's what the
You're
line
right.
was when we
Yeah.
did the show. So I'm 6-8. Jeff is 10-5. Tim is 5-10. Tim lost his free money teaser because he put New England on it, as we told him. It's probably the worst idea. It's 3-13 for the year, 9-80 overall in the course of doing this show. Christmas Day, Minnesota at New Orleans. A revenge game of sorts for the Saints after last year's playoffs. They're favored by 7 at home. 51.5 is the over-under. You know who loves overs? Minnesota and New Orleans. Just bet the over in this game of 51.5 is probably the move. The Saints and Steelers are two really intriguing teams to me heading into the playoffs because I have no idea where they're at right now. I have far more confidence that the Saints are going to turn it around and be good in the playoffs. Like they'll get Michael Thomas back round 1 of the playoffs. Their defense still looks pretty good. Like they were harassing. It shows how good the Chiefs are, really, that they were able to harass Mahomes all day. Like they played good defense in that game. It just didn't matter.
Well, the Saints' benefit is they play in the NFC where there aren't any good teams. They're just like, whereas the Chiefs, anyway, so they have a big advantage there.
But their reeling, I think, is a lot different than the Steelers' reeling at the moment.
Yes.
Because getting Michael Thomas back is such a game changer for that offense where even some of the guys on the Steelers' defense just aren't coming back. And Cincinnati's putting up points on you, and Ben looks like he has a noodle arm all of a sudden. But maybe that gets rectified too. Maybe there's some value on them heading into the playoffs. We'll see. I like the -7 with New Orleans. Feels like Minnesota's like, well, how did they lose that game last week?
They're not very good.
A couple games in a row. Even the game in Tampa a couple weeks ago, that was closer than the 12-point final score. The game got out of hand because Bailey missed everything. They're kind of like officially out of the playoff race. It's a tough one. All I really care about is Dalvin Cook in my home league championship. So I hope he goes off. I'm going to take the Saints here, though.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints. The coin's taking the Saints too, Tim.
If Kendricks is hurt. And I think
is he hurt because his brother was insider trading?
That's over my head.
Is his brother Michael Kendricks?
Oh, I don't. Is he? I don't know.
I assume I guess same last name. There's people with lots of same last names. I assume. Isn't that what Michael Kendricks got busted for?
Yeah, I think you.
I'm not sure.
He just signed with the footballs though.
So that's a
I
big.
have a bad history with this game.
Yeah, I know. We all know.
A very bad history, so I get anxious when I pick these two teams play because I've gotten it wrong the last couple of times in some pretty spectacular ways.
Does this count
Ultimately-
as a primetime game for Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
I think it does because it's on
Friday night.
Christmas
It's
Day.
standalone.
It's an afternoon game. It's on at like 5 o'clock.
If you play standalone in the NFL, to me, it's prime time. Like Allen
agree.
versus the
I agree.
Broncos last week, to me, was prime time. Even though it's 4 o'clock, it's on
Weird
Saturday.
time to put a game on though because right in the middle of Christmas dinner. But anyway,
The NFL does that.
How do you? Well, it's all against all the NBA games too. How do you do? I mean, you don't do Christmas dinner obviously because you hate Christmas. We all know.
No,
that.
I'm so jealous of Christmas.
Yeah,
Jews love Christmas.
You get like Chinese food or something.
Yeah,
Sounds
no,
great.
but Christmas seems like a great thing. It really missing out on Christmas isn't fun.
You just had 8 nights of hilarity.
8 nights, my ass.
How does it feel with your birthday and Hanukkah like clashing every year?
That was not cool. As a kid, okay, I guess I want to back this up. I've never been, in my grown-up life, I was a bigger loser about my birthday last week than I've been since I was like 7 years old. But things it was just a good week. I was just running pure, so I had to attribute it to something. So that's just why that, I guess, came up.
Well, did you make sure that the dreidel stopped spinning and this is an inception?
No. But yeah, like I would never get a full deal. You have a birthday.
Even at
and
your bar mitzvah, you didn't get a full deal?
well, your bar mitzvah, I guess you kind of like pick the date. My bar mitzvah was like in like the spring or something. My mom didn't want to have
really?
a Christmas winter bar mitzvah.
You should have a second bar mitzvah.
I don't
Get
know.
some Herbert prisms instead of cash.
I wish.
Like
He could still-
Duberstein, who had
listen,
a
I
bar
don't
mitzvah
even know
every
how to
13 years?
I don't know how to do it. By do it, I mean read Hebrew. I didn't really know how to then. I just memorized it phonetically.
Oh.
Sure.
So I'd still like kind of hear. I could still riff a couple lines.
Let's hear some.
Not right now.
No, let's hear some. You say you can do it. Let's hear it.
Well, just like the standard shit.
I don't know. I don't know any of it. What are the chances Tim knows more Hebrew than you?
Not a chance.
50-50?
But yeah, no, you never get like full weight of Hanukkah and birthday from like relatives. If that makes any
You
sense.
get like 50-50. You get half a Hanukkah gift, half a Christmas gift. Or
Yeah,
half
it's
It
kind of
happened
like
to
this.
my brother, too. My brother's
Listen, it's just
birthday is
happening.
also
It's like,
December 20th.
oh, we're having like a family Hanukkah party. Oh, and it's my birthday. I'm getting a present. I'm getting the same thing as my cousin's getting, who's just having Hanukkah. Like, you don't get full weight. It is what it is.
Happened, like I said, it happened to my brother, too. His birthday is also December 20th. And you couldn't have a big birthday party 3 days before Christmas. It just didn't happen.
Barhu etelai hambora.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Barhu etelai hambora lela vaed.
You got a nice like pace to that.
Yeah, Bar, you
You're
gotta
hitting the
hit
notes.
it.
It's very sing-songy. It's like when I went to church in Latin that time. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
I think that's just like an Aliyah. That's like a standard thing.
Okay.
But
So
yeah,
Tim-
no, Christmas envy. Nothing but 8 days.
Do people do? I feel like Christmas dinner isn't like uniform at a certain time.
It's
Yeah,
not. A lot of people do it at 2 o'clock or 2:30
Everyone does their own thing.
when it's feasible. When it's feasible.
We kind of have.
Is
well,
it like a lot of like dropping in and out too? You go to like 4 places for Christmas dinner?
well for Pat
Not,
Mayo
not
and
this year.
for Pat Mayo going to see his mom and then going to see his
Yeah.
dad and then his mom's parents because those two don't talk, so it's another trip. Now my wife's parents. It's a lot of driving on Christmas Day. Can't enjoy myself some good nog. I know Tim's a big noggaman.
I love eggnog and brandy or eggnog and gin.
But yeah, it's more of like a platter that's put out. Like there's ham, there's turkey, there's whatever that's being put out and it's just on the table. Like there's the time that it comes out, let's say like 2:30 in the afternoon, but it's there for like 2 hours.
maybe
No,
you
that's
could-
not my experience.
maybe it shouldn't be a surprise by looking at me, but I've been to a couple Christmas parties, some like swanky things. That honey glazed ham.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, we don't get that.
No, but you know what? Well,
Really?
gotta-
You don't get honey glazed
Well,
ham?
No,
we
but
know
like you
that.
go to some nice places and like a carving station, like honey glazed ham. Like, oh my, like I'll go back for seconds.
Have you ever had a
sorry,
carving
I'm
station
a
at a
turkey and
wedding?
ham.
I think so.
It's not bad. At first, I was very resistant to the idea, but I'm kind of for it. So
I've seen it like in like hors d'oeuvres and like it's just like on sort of like mini like sandwiches, but they're like carving it in like the hors d'oeuvre
They're like
time
little
I've seen.
sandwiches.
Oh, like I've been to a few now where there's like a prime rib station
Yeah,
or there's like a ham station.
Oh, sounds great.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, for sure.
That's what we're having for Christmas dinner this year. My wife just picked up some prime rib.
Oh,
Oh,
good call.
that's fine. But to me, Christmas is turkey when you can do a turkey.
Well, if you don't celebrate Christmas Tim's way, you don't really celebrate it at all. Apparently,
I didn't say that.
that
I
sounds
said
like what
for
you're
me-
saying. You're being very judgy.
For me, I like turkey.
But you don't like
like-
turkey.
I love turkey.
We talked on Thanksgiving. You said that the best turkey you could have was out on a hungry man dinner.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I like those too. I love the turkey. I smother in gravy, and then the next day the sandwiches and French fries or homemade turkey soup. I really, and then you won't see turkey again until Thanksgiving. So it's time to enjoy.
You only eat turkey twice a year?
I mean, like a roast turkey. Yes, we only have a big roast turkey with stuffing and all the trimmings twice a year. Yes. I mean, I'll have like turkeys from like Subway or whatever throughout the year, but I won't, but I won't have like a roast turkey any more than twice a year.
I had Subway the other day.
And?
Nice.
It's all right. It's the same as
It's
Subway.
exactly what you thought it was going to be. Yeah, you know what you're getting.
I was starving. It was the only thing open.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have to pick this game. In the end, the road dome theory wins out, and I will take the Vikings.
Shucks. I actually want to switch now that I'm thinking of something, Pat. I'm going to go with Tim here.
Okay.
This is just perception. The road team on Christmas Day. I'm telling you, that team crushes it. They're not at home. They've known all year they're traveling on Christmas Day. I swear there's a success rate with just being the road team on Christmas Day. There's a lot more with the home team. The road team knows it's Christmas Day. We've had to play this game. We're getting on a plane when it's over. Either way, the home team, their minds usually elsewhere.
Okay, let's move to Saturday. Triple header. Tim.
Because it's their mother-in-law at their house.
Last week, you said that you had a Boxing Day bonanza.
I do. This is like Thanksgiving 2.0 for the people. We have 3 games on Saturday, and I've got a Boxing Day bonanza for you. Bonanza. All right, let's begin. We like the Buccaneers on the money line. It's a money line parlay.
So that game is 9.5. Detroit is getting 9.5 points at home. So the Bucs are favored by 9.5 points in Detroit. You like the Bucs on the money line, but do you like them against the spread?
I do indeed.
Okay.
Tom Brady's return home to Michigan. I like him to win. They and the Buccaneers to win this game comfortably. The Buccaneers have started incredibly slowly the last couple of weeks before taking off in both second halves. But Detroit's one of those teams you don't have to worry about. If you start slowly, you'll be able to catch up to them. So, yeah, I like the Bucs here. I like the Bucs quite a bit. They win this game. More than likely, they can sit everybody in Week 17 because they can't win the division, and doesn't really matter where you are in the seedings.
Ooh,
I guess you'd like to be the 5 seed, but is going to Washington. I don't know that that's true. Is it Tampa against Washington really a worse situation than Tampa at, I don't know, Seattle or Tampa at New Orleans? I don't know. For that particular team, that pass rush, that Washington pass rush is the one thing that I think could be the most injurious to Tampa. I don't know.
I'm not saying that it's an easy game to play Washington, but I would say that Washington is considerably worse and a tougher and much
I think the
easier
bye
matchup.
is worth it. I think creating a bye for yourself is just more important at that point. So,
all right, so
I expect Tampa to win and cover.
Okay, so you have Tampa?
Yes.
Keep going. Want to hear the
no, we have 3 other games.
We're going to lump them all into one. We're like an hour behind already. Just lump them all into one.
Yeah, okay. Well, then the second game is I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals on the money line, minus 215. And I like the Cardinals to cover in that game as well.
Okay. And then the Battle of Hawaii, the most watched game potentially in the history of Honolulu. Reed Fowler's fired up from Mariota-san against Tua.
I have to say, I was impressed by the way that Mariota played when he came into the game. I thought he was sort of hit the ground running. I was impressed by that.
So you're picking against Miami.
I'm taking the Raiders on the money line too. I don't think the Dolphins, we saw again last week, Dolphins don't have the offense to keep up with
Why wouldn't you teaser this?
He wants
because I
there's 1 through 0, but I still think you teaser it.
Well,
instead.
you know what? You could, but I didn't want to tease through the 0. And as much as I like the Cardinals, that's the game I like the least of the 3. That I still think San Francisco could be dangerous, and I would not be shocked at all. If that's the one game that screwed me up, that would be the game. Would be San Francisco. I'm the least confident in the Cardinals of those 3. I'm going to take the Cards spread and money line, but the Niners do make me a little nervous.
So what does that equal out to be?
It's about plus 312 is what I see. So depending on the little marginal, it's a little better than 3-1 on your money for a Boxing Day bonanza. I got you right on Thanksgiving. I'm getting you right on Boxing Day. Just like I'm a big game hunter, I'm a big holiday hunter too.
Okay. The coin is taking Detroit against the spread, San Francisco against the spread, and Vegas against the spread. So for us on Boxing Day, can't figure out what to do in the Tampa-Detroit game. It feels like Tampa should steamroll
The
them.
one game I'm having the hardest time with too.
And I've been picking San Francisco for like a month straight, and they're terrible. Now they're starting CJ Guilty Beathard at quarterback. Mullins is out for the year. Mostert's out for the year. Jimmy G's not coming back. Kittle might play in this game, though. So me Timbers may get kittled, Tim, as a Boxing Day surprise for you.
And it's sort of a home game for the Niners too now, right?
I mean, it's not.
It's not quite the road game that it usually is. I don't know.
The one thing about it is that Arizona is 5-0-1 against the spread in their last 6 against San Francisco. Probably the first time they've been favored by 4.5 over that stretch. Although I guess the Niners were like the Niners had the second pick 2 years ago.
Yeah, so they would have been bad that season.
Yeah. So I like the Cardinals to cover. I like Miami to cover. Let's go with Team Tua here, and it's actually a really good matchup for Miami because it looks like all their guys are practicing now. Parker, Gesicki, and Grant are all practicing.
What about that Raiders defense?
Well, you can just run all over them, and that's the one thing that
But
Miami
they had like
can do
4
really well.
starters out last week. Are they back?
I don't think so. Will Arnett,
Huge.
Joe
There are
Bluth?
2 games, Pat, where the advanced line did insane movement to where we are. This is one of them, and you better believe Indy Pittsburgh moved about 4 points.
That's
5 points
fair,
also.
though.
Yeah. This line moved huge between Miami beating New England and the Raiders getting. The fact that the Raiders that I had to sweat the 3.5 was goddamn insane. Raiders are first and goal to win by 6 in that game is goddamn embarrassing. Anthony Lynn, you fucking clown. I'm going to take the Raiders here. I'm going to take the Raiders. You're right. That was a bad thing by Herbert. I'm going to take the Raiders here.
So Raiders +3 at
Yeah,
home.
+3. There's just too much. I'm also going to, the Raiders here. San Francisco, I like a lot, actually. And I'm going to credit Walter Football with this stat. Now,
Heard that guy's not the best.
no, but I don't, this is just a stat.
I know. He was giving out stats on like coronavirus too. It turns out those weren't real.
Oh, I can't speak to any of that. I don't read his blog.
Just
work
to be
on the
clear,
virus.
Pat saying the stats he was giving about coronavirus weren't real, not that coronavirus is.
No, that's
Okay.
what Tim says.
No, he acknowledges,
what
unlike
you say.
unlike probably his coronavirus stats, he goes on to say this isn't quite scientific, but something he's tracked
Always
by.
a good start.
But something he's
Always a good start.
But something he's tracked by hands, and that is in week 16 and 17, teams in a must-win scenario are just 58, 94, 93, and 4 against the spread versus eliminated teams. The Cardinals have to battle the Rams next week, so it could be a look ahead, but this is clearly a team that is done versus a team that needs a win. People bet these things like they're free money, usually, and they get burned. So I'm going to take San Francisco there. I'm having a real tough time with that Tampa-Detroit game, but I'm just going to take the better team.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Tampa as well.
Tampa just went, I don't know. If Detroit wants to make it close, if Detroit backdoors it, whatever. Just right now, I don't have any interest in betting Detroit anything.
I'm the only one who's living some Tua time here.
I took Miami
On Boxing Day? So did I.
I took Miami last week, which was a very unpopular pick. I think the Patriots closed as a favorite.
And Tim bet them on the money line. Of course they lost.
So we're there.
I just don't
I want to
understand.
be quick.
Dolphins look terrible again. So.
There's a couple things I want to mention.
I like how
I want to mention?
Tua looks terrible, and this is Tim logic here that I'm going through because I agree he didn't look great.
Well, his coach doesn't trust him, or he doesn't have to
Nope.
trust him because the defense is goddamn amazing.
So?
And the running backs ran for 260 yards. So why make him throw on 3rd and long? He doesn't have to.
So when Sam Darnold sucks, it's because he has no weapons.
Yeah.
All his weapons are hurt. He's playing with legitimately nobody, but he's terrible. So
Full
which one is
credit.
it, Tim?
Great on a curve. No running, like 4 running backs out, 4 receivers out. Did Gesicki?
Nope.
You got to grade him on a curve.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess it was a C- performance.
You had a week of embarrassing moments. Well, no, whatever. I do too. But you really, I saw you tweet something at about 1:15 on Sunday. Tua throws a pick, and you go to Dolphins Reddit in the first quarter of a game. You're so weird. One
Whatever.
pick.
I wanted to see the meltdown.
What meltdown? They beat the pick. They won the game.
There was a nuclear reaction going on
Listen,
in their mega thread.
I understand it's a fragile bunch. I encountered
Very
the craziest
fragile.
ones, and you see these Ryan Tannehill like year and a half statistics. There's a reason this is a fragile group right now. And listen, you could do whatever you want. People see Pat. I want to say something, but I don't want to say something.
You don't have the guts to say it.
I've seen more from Jalen Hurts in 2 games than I have from 2 months from Tua, but I understand he has a number 1 scoring defense, and there are a lot of circumstances that allow for that to happen. I'm sure if Miami trailed a lot like they were versus Kansas City, we would see some fun things. Not a day of nothing and 2 one-yard touchdown runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for Dolphins fans.
That's acceptable. They're winning games. They're going to a playoffs.
Not only are they winning games, they've covered 79% of their games.
Yeah.
If they cover the last 2, they'd be just one of 5 teams to do that since 2005.
I was wrong about them in terms of I thought this type of winning record season was going to happen next year, not this year. So full marks to them. Tua will get to play in meaningful December games. I'm the one cutting air. I'm the one number 1 under pressure. I'm the one
not winning games.
Until
they stop mattering, and now you're winning them to kill.
I'm the one who throws 25-yard air yard passes like the best of them in football. I'm the one with the 3rd down passing stats. But he gets to play a meaningful December game. That's worth as much to a development as a lot of other things.
And you're all picking against him, against the shitty
Yeah,
Raiders.
he can check down.
I've been on both. So I'm not like just beholden to picking
You're all
them
like,
every
Marcus
week.
Mariota is so good.
They should be excited that the quarterback they let go in Tannehill is better than what they've got. And the quarterbacks they didn't draft and let go, like Herbert and Hurts, are better than what they've got.
Well, you can't draft
the Dolphins
Hurts.
should be really excited.
There's circumstances to Hurts being able to make certain plays that for whatever reason, I want to believe it's the high scoring defense. The play calling, there's a lot of times where Flores has no interest in letting Tua throw the ball. Period.
There's a reason for that.
When he did, he threw like 300 yards.
There. Exactly.
So great.
and listen, Bill Belichick can hurt your confidence throwing. So they're up. Why hurt your confidence?
Or you know that the Patriots can't score.
Yeah, they're
so what's
also
the difference?
that. Exactly. I want to just go backwards quickly. Through everything Tim's slideshow last week, whatever, I deserve probably a lot of it. Most of our fans can read through it, know that I've acknowledged my draft day opinions in the past and pray to God I was wrong about them. Rehashing it, there's one thing I felt was quite disingenuous, and that was your assist from Garion. Because that conversation was taken incredibly out of context for how it was portrayed here.
Are you saying that we may not have been the most honest in showing certain things on the screen?
Hold on. You decide.
That comment was saying if the Chargers traded ahead of Miami and didn't take Tua, I would have to hate him. And hating Tua with his icon status,
and you hate him anyway,
would be not nearly as much as you think. I think my passion sometimes, how I say things, my passion can be mistaken for anger.
Would you say that you feel the passion? Are you Clam Chatter 2.0?
I do feel the passion a lot.
You also have a 16-1 to protect.
A lot of the long-term fans know sometimes my passion can be mistaken for anger. It's really just passion. But those whole comments from Garion's message, that was strictly based on if we traded over a team and then passed on Tua while he was on the board, that would have to create a lifetime of he better be shit. Now I just want the Chargers to have drafted the better quarterback and have been wrong. Like a lot of you were probably wrong on your assessments.
Through 15 games.
Listen, I can't even keep up with the content, Pat. There's
too much.
There's so much.
You better hope it doesn't go the other way.
There is so much from respected outlet people, quarterback people. I can't even keep up with the videos. I got notifications. I can't even keep up.
Well,
I
that's
can't
good,
even
'cause
keep
you
I will
up.
say though,
Now on
there's
a-
all this
somebody
there's all this content this year about it. So next year when it goes poorly, it's like, what happened? Let's compare the videos.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot of that. But now I almost have to like pick who I want to see their breakdowns of because there's too many good things to keep up with. That's just the truth.
wow.
Not saying that Vegas, that Miami can't lose this game, but they're a much better team than Vegas is.
100%. And Vegas could be in the shitter. I gotta just hope there's a swing here from Vegas. This thing moved like 6 points, Pat. I think Vegas was an advanced 2.5 point favorite here.
But they're basically done in the AFC. They're out,
Done.
right?
They need the
Basically
Ravens.
done, yeah.
They need the Ravens to lose not to one of the Giants and Bengals, but both.
Both.
And someone else to tank too.
So they're done.
'Cause
They're
the Ravens
done.
aren't
Miami
even
to
in
lose
right
both.
now. Yeah, well, they would
Miami
need to
have
beat
to
Miami.
lose both.
They would need to win out, which would include beating Miami. Tim, I got breaking news off the wire here for you.
Fire away.
Did you see this in our text thread? Our friend is updating us on recent developments. Well, your main man, Nick Mullins, is out for the year with Tommy John surgery. Did you see who they got to replace him on the 49ers?
Kaepernick.
I couldn't begin to guess.
It's not Colin Kaepernick. It's your main man, the guy that Tim said was actually the best prospect of the Darnold draft, Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen in a revenge game against the Cards in a revenge game.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't think
really
that he's starting.
I can't imagine. But good for him. I still think the kid has talent, and I'm glad to see him get another chance somewhere. Even though the Niners have like 15,000 quarterbacks. Good for him.
So I'm taking Miami -3 in Vegas.
Miami, you mentioned it, insane against the spread. And I've been good. I've been backing them. I don't know.
I'd hate to see Miami win and then in a meaningless Week 17 game for Buffalo lose. Like we lost to Buffalo in a meaningless Week 17 game to miss the playoffs. That would be really awful. I'd hate to see that.
Tim, can you just rank the rookie quarterbacks from 2020?
I stand with Burrow at 1, despite his injury.
It's fine.
Herbert 2, Hurts 3. I mean, I haven't
You're
seen
gonna
Love.
get, Yaus Luton.
I haven't seen Love
Are you going to
play
let
badly.
Yaus Luton or who
I haven't
else
seen
played?
Love play badly, so that would. But I will have to put Tua ahead of Love.
Ben
But I actually think
Ganucci?
Love's a better quarterback.
So why isn't Love ahead of Tua?
I haven't seen him in the pros. That's wholly speculation.
But
on
what
my
you've
part.
seen of Tua, then you would rather roll the dice with Love than what you believe Tua's ceiling is.
Probably, but I would be unfair not to put Tua 4th, I suppose.
Yes, why
Which
would
is
you?
fine. I guess he was.
What about
he
that
was definitely-
Jacksonville quarterback?
Yeah, Juice Luton.
Yeah, Yaus Luton is.
And what about Ben Ganucci?
Danucci? Not Ganucci. Danucci.
Tim seems to know an
Anyway.
awful lot about Benedenucci.
So who did you have 3 there? Tua?
Hurts.
Oh, yeah, Hurts.
Hurts the 3. 2 of 3.
It's a nice class. I'm thinking about maybe just getting an extra prison box for sealing.
Okay.
It's a beautiful class. This could be a nice sealed wax.
Sunday games on the 27th. Yeah, we finally got there. Once again, if you're not playing in the Fantasy Golf Championship at fantasygolfchampionship.com, give your fucking head a shake,
probably
pal.
sold out.
Get it. It's probably sold out. In the hour that you've been watching the show, it's probably sold out. You should probably go see if you can get your spot in it right now. If you didn't, smash the like button of this episode. Rate and review, by the way. Make that your Christmas gift to us. If you can just
5
please-
stars.
Yes, 5 stars. Scroll down on your iPhone. 5 stars. Be like, I like this show. It good sometimes. But they don't talk enough about football, Tim.
I don't care what they say. 5 stars. I don't care what they say.
Exactly. Oh, Tim, your Jets.
All right.
Broadway Baker going back home. 9.5 point favorites on the road against the Jets. 47 is the over-under. I don't think we really need to spend a whole lot of time on any of these games.
We don't.
I am taking the
We don't.
Cleveland Browns to rout the New York Jumbo Jets. Because there's nothing that's going to be more fun than the Jets, who got gifted by the schedule, by the way, by having to stick on the West Coast for back-to-back games. Probably a huge advantage that the league gave them to get that win. Ruining your chance at Trevor Lawrence, then losing by like 50 to the Browns. Doesn't that
I
seem,
think that-
that seems about on script, doesn't it?
No, I mean, I thought Mayfield, and I said as much on Twitter, played very well on Sunday. And
What?
that's to
Are
his
you trying to
credit.
are you trying to curse him?
I said that on Sunday. He played well on Sunday. I thought he was very efficient, made some really nice passes against, I think, a pretty tough Giants D, and all credit to him. I think the Jets cover here.
I mean, Mayfield He's like thrown one pick to like 15 touchdowns since Odell's been
Yeah,
hurt.
he's playing really well.
Who knew it was Odell that was the problem?
So
It's
what
not a
do
big
they
game.
do there?
Next week when they play the next week they'll play the Steelers probably for the division. If they win and the Steelers lose this week, that week 17 game is for the
So
division.
are we going to
That's
have
prime time.
an offseason full of Odell trade rumors again? Or is it like, no, with Odell, they should be more dynamic?
I think if they don't trade him, they might cut him.
No, I don't think so.
Stefanski strikes.
Do you have a Twitch moment?
That was like my
It depends whether they get
Tourette's.
bounced in the first round or not. If they get bounced in the first round, they bring him back. If they win a couple of playoff games with him, without him, then they probably can.
Stefanski strikes me as a guy that'll bounce him.
Could happen.
I'm very curious. It would seem crazy to get rid of him because he's such a talented guy. But
I'll take him.
Yeah, the Jets have all this cap room, but they already have such luminaries as Jamison Crowder and Rashawn Merriman and Mimsy. What do you do? Could he even play on that
Could he
team?
even fit on that bomb squad?
I'll take my chances. Listen, if we have Panay and Becton, 2 of the 5 best tackles in football, on the same line, that would be despite having the 32nd best year in football.
5.
I think that would still be a pretty good
2
situation.
of the best 5 tackles in football, Jeff. Tim was telling us.
Potentially.
Tim was looking at
Potential.
YouTube videos from, was he playing for Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he sent us this clip. He's like, you got to see how good this guy is. There's like one play and it's like 45 seconds into the clip.
He blows it up. This guy is a star.
He would be the first overall pick if it wasn't for the quarterback.
Correct.
How well does
Correct.
that usually work out? I have no memory of like first overall.
Well, the Dolphins
tackles.
drafted Jake Long first overall and won the division the very next season.
It's kind of there were some bad ones.
Was it
But
Eric Fisher was never good or bad.
Historically, when we were like younger, it was a like surefire lock. But it's been less of a lock at offensive tackle, and some other positions have kind of
It's been a long time since a tackle
become
got
more
taken
locks.
first
You know what's
It's Fisher,
funny?
isn't it?
Of all the great tackles
Fisher, yeah.
that went last year in the deep tackle draft, the first one to go has been the worst. The one, ironically, the one the Giants took. He's been
Yeah.
horrible.
The
apparently.
Wilfs?
Wirfs, yeah, Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah.
And the best
Becton's
ones
been great.
were two of the later ones. The one that went to the Jets
Tampa.
and Tampa has
Yeah.
been amazing.
Becton went one-on-one with Aaron Donald on Sunday several times, and he held his own and even bested Donald on several occasions. That told me all I needed to know.
I want that 11 pick, baby.
You realize that the offensive line is supposed to stop him every time. The fact that a defensive
the
lineman
best
gets
player in football. You're holding your own. against the
What's
best
holding
player.
your own? The guy gets by you 8 times. You're considering that a
No,
good day?
he didn't. Becton played marvelously in that game, and that was like all I needed. Didn't need to double him all the time. Becton could actually play one-on-one with him, and you almost always have to double Donald. So we're in good shape. Yeah, I hope for your sake, Jeff, you get that 11th pick because that's where stars come from.
Give me Cleveland.
Cleveland for you?
Yeah.
All right. Atlanta and Kansas City. KC's favored by 11 at home. 54 is the over-under. I can't believe Tampa Bay didn't cover that game last week. Fournette was short of the first down by a good 1.5 yards. They gave it to him anyway, even after reviewing it. If not, Tampa kicks the field goal, covers the spread, but instead they were just gifted a first down to end the game. It was ridiculous.
You mocked me. You mocked me last week. Said, "Oh, why don't you tell us how the Falcons are going to cover, but the Bucks are going to win?" Ha ha ha! And I did, and that's exactly what happened.
You were 6-10. And you
Okay, but I
and
got
one of those games that you got right was one that you should not have got right, which was that game because the league gifted it to you.
Well, I'll take any games. They just giving them away. Whatever. Give me the Chiefs here. This is to lock up the 1 seed. So yeah, believe it or not, I'm picking against Atlanta. Give me the Chiefs, and this is a part of my Sunday free money teaser. We're teasing the Chiefs down to 3.5.
KC plus
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, it's a 7 point. It's a 7 point.
I got an 11
I got
here.
so you're
that'll be
teasing
a
them down to
4.
4.
4 then. Okay, 4.
7-point teaser. KC.
I'm going to take Atlanta.
I'm taking Atlanta, too.
totally trusting Matt Ryan to backdoor me this with his weapons.
Is this like Bizarro Day? What's going on here?
I don't know. I just feel like it's
the Chiefs covered the number that we had last week earlier, but they didn't cover the closing line spread. So that's like
I know, but you're picking
that-
Atlanta.
But that's like 6 in a row they haven't covered. And everyone just
never happened.
everyone blindly bets Kansas City against the spread every week and loses money.
Yeah, I like Atlanta. I trust Ryan to Ridley. I'm getting the back door here. I'm getting the back door. I would tease this the other way too. But although
Double tease?
Chiefs are one of those teams you don't really want to. like teasing backwards, you don't really feel safe. Like when they're rolling, getting an extra 7 points doesn't mean anything.
No, because Atlanta's going to jump up like 17-0
Atlanta
in this
kicks
game.
so many field goals. That's a problem. Like their red zone
They have
offense.
coup.
is
You got
pathetic.
to use your best player.
He's their best player. Pro Bowler.
Jets have no Pro Bowlers, by the way.
Even though Becton won the fan vote for the tackle. Rigged. Stop the count.
they did stop the count. Still didn't win. Chicago and Jacksonville. So, Tim, are you rooting for Jacksonville big time now?
I'm teasing the Jags up.
There you go.
Actually,
I
I feel
that a
really
lot.
good about. I feel really good about Jacksonville covering this number.
14.5 is the number, 7.5 is the number. That means you tease them up to 14.5. 47 is the over-under. The Bears' offense is kind of rolling right now.
Yeah, but the Bears can't. The Bears are going to win this game, but they're going to win close. I think Jacksonville plays well here.
There's going to be a moment here where Tim thinks he's getting his draft pick back. It's a close game. Give me the Jags.
I don't think so at all. I think the Bears absolutely steamrolled them. David Montgomery is apparently unstoppable.
Amazing. Doing his
I mean,
Iowa
the Bears
State
have an
work.
inside track to the playoffs. If they take care of business the last 2 weeks, the Cardinals only have to lose once because they own all the tie breaks against the Cards. So, and the Cards have tough games.
Yeah, but
they
the
play
Rams just lost to the Jets, so they're probably never going to win another game in their history.
Well, maybe that's right.
So 3 Jacksonvilles and a Chicago with me at -7.5 on the road. Don't love it, mind you, backing Trubisky on the road, but we'll go with it. Giants at Baltimore. No,
We made a mistake last week, Pat.
what?
The Ravens
I know.
against the
Bad
team
team.
that's might be the worst in football.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
the
a dumb
game went
idea.
exactly as we said for years those games go.
So this is another one. The Giants still fighting for the division in Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 11. 45 is the over-under. Are we getting Danny Thumbs back for this game? Is he playing?
Super Bowl rematch.
Okay.
I'm
What, from
taking
almost 20 years ago.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I am too.
They're running so pure right now.
I'm taking the Giants, man. The Giants cover on the road as underdogs. They've been doing it all
Yeah.
year.
and
They
got
suck at home and they're good on the
Daniel
road.
Jones, like just with his legs, will probably move the chains and hit one of his receivers to backdoor this game for you. But
if he plays, and I'm not completely sold on Baltimore.
this game is off the board in a lot of places, I want to say, because there's some uncertainty around Jones.
On DraftKingsSportsbook.com, where everyone should be making their legal wagers. It's currently -11 Baltimore.
Bet nowhere else.
So Baltimore for the 3 of you? I'm including the coin in that.
Yeah.
And the Giants for me.
So you've
Plus
been
11.
against me, Tim, and the whatever. You're the one 11 games over 500.
22
We're glad to see it.
22
This is our
games
chance to
over
catch
500.
up.
Sorry, I meant
We're
I'm
on a
11.
racetrack here.
What I meant to say is I'm 11 games behind you, I guess, is where my head was there. But yeah,
Yeah, you need to close. You guys need to start closing in on me here. This
if I could pull this thing to a respectable over 500 with my super lock record, I have no issues being 500, picking every game on the calendar.
Okay. Indy and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's now a 2-point dog at home. 44.5 is the over-under. Here's the thing, Jeff.
Everyone hates Pittsburgh.
Everyone is betting
Like,
Indianapolis.
everyone hates
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I know.
Yeah, me too. Pittsburgh's on the short list for super locks,
Yeah.
potentially. But there's no value in teasing them through numbers here.
If I didn't want,
I'm just going to take the +2.
yeah, I wish I could join you guys.
The
but
coin's such a fish. Loves Indy.
any other
I mean,
team
Indy
in
might
the,
very well win. Indy might crush them. Who knows?
any other team in the league, I'd probably join you, but I'm not getting off my Colts.
It's also Tim's Colts too.
Fuck
Remember
off.
that. Tim guaranteed they make the playoffs last week, and we'll see.
Well,
how
they
end
will
up.
make the playoffs.
Will they?
Well, 2 times in 3 weeks, the Texans fumble on the goal line to either beat or tie them. Let's remember that when we start making playoff picks, that they were an eye whisker away from having lost 2 of these games. and probably should have
But they lose this game.
Who do they
and
play next week?
Jacksonville.
In a revenge of week 1.
Revenge.
But if they lose this game and Miami wins out, Baltimore wins out, and Cleveland wins out, they're out.
Is there a Baltimore-Miami game?
No, Baltimore plays
Next week's all
Cincinnati.
divisional. Next week's all divisions. It's week 17.
Miami plays who? Oh, Buffalo.
Who might be sitting all their guys.
Will they?
They may or may not. It's bad. Actually,
Why wouldn't they? Treat it like a bye.
kind of like that matchup for Miami.
And if I were Buffalo, odds are you get Miami again the next week in the playoffs because that's the way it would set up. You
I
show
would.
nothing. You play no one.
Oh, no. See, I was talking. Paul said this exact same thing to me earlier today, and I told him it's a terrible idea to try to rig it to play against the Dolphins in the playoffs. Because then
You have to pick, though.
Then Tim will say that it's impossible for the Bills to lose. In no way it could ever happen. And you know what happens after that.
I'm a 90s kid, and I'm specifically an early 90s kid. And as I was falling in love with the Chargers and decided they were going to be my team, being where I grew up in Toronto, that early 90s Bills-Dolphins rivalry was one of the things that made me decide, F hockey, I'm a football fan, and I'll pick a favorite team. And I picked one, and I made a bad choice. Not to say picking Buffalo or Miami would have been a good one, but so Bills Miami to mean something at the Ralph in December, or them. There's nothing I want more than Bills versus the Dolphins in a playoff game.
Does
that
Buffalo want Baltimore?
That
Like, would be
literally
their
to
choice.
me, it's like Marino Kelly, and I'm watching Saturday morning superstars that weekend.
If I have to choose between Jackson and Tua in the playoffs, I'll take Tua in the cold in Buffalo. You talk about the freest money possible on the board.
Here we are, Paul. It's starting.
What did he just say?
If it's Bills Dolphins in round 1, the Bills are the freest money on the board.
Tim, can I bring up? I'm gonna bring up a tweet that you retweeted the other
I
day.
will lay down a marker right now.
No,
I thought you
no.
were stopping. You already said you were going to stop laying down markers.
I know,
So
but it's so addictive.
All this
You're
Bills,
always wrong.
all this Bills love from you, but on December 20th, you retweeted this guy who wrote, "Sell a pick to a desperate team for a QB, load up around Darnold, sack the entire coaching staff, division up for grabs." So it doesn't sound like you're very high on the Bills.
For this season,
Well,
they're my-
what's going to change? What's going to change with the Bills next season? Division is up for grabs. I like that. There was actually one person who replied, and they were just like, "This is like such a ludicrous statement."
Listen,
and then
the Bills have
neither
had-
one of you,
have had-
you Jets homers like that one.
Buffalo has a couple of jobs. They've accomplished one already, which is to prevent Miami from winning the division. Number 2, what I need them to do is to knock them out, whether it be in week 17 if they want, or in the playoffs if needs
You
must.
don't want your dad
And
happy?
after that, I could care less about
You
Buffalo. I
can't
hope they
even
go-
like allow your dad to like get a playoff win and smile?
He wouldn't be happy for me if the shoe were on the other foot. He'd love to see the Jets go down in flames. We're like crabs in a bucket, right? If one crab tries to escape, the others grab that crab and bring him back down into the bucket.
So, what do you make of Pittsburgh? Because obviously you're picking Indy here, but you like Indy. Is Pittsburgh done? Or do they have a chance to get it back together?
There's nothing worse. There's nothing.
I feel like we see this a few times, once every few years, that a team that was really good at one point takes a huge dip, but then like week 17, they get it back together. No one believes them. They kind of like steamroll first two rounds of the playoffs.
I believe in that. And if you're
The
Pittsburgh.
09 Saints did that and won the Super Bowl.
Well, I'd say it's either Pittsburgh or the Saints this year.
Yeah.
But
Pittsburgh.
the 09 Saints did exactly this, and then they won the Super Bowl.
I mean, listen, Pittsburgh is what? They're 11-3. That's an amazing record. The opinions would be totally different if those 3 losses were, I guess, spaced out and they weren't undefeated, and then we had to debate the merits of how good they are. I believe, like in golf, like I always loved the golfer Sunday who got punched in the mouth somewhere in this tournament. Maybe made a double, but now I'm like one back. As opposed to the guy that's like the announcer just said, "Oh, it's been like 38 holes since he made a bogey."
There's only one guy that doesn't apply to, because that's not how he wins tournaments.
Who?
Dustin Johnson just dominates from beginning to
Sure,
end.
he's on a different breed.
Any sort of like adversity, he's like shooting 80.
Yeah, you're right. But I love you got to get punched in the mouth somewhere. And something Tim said last week really stuck with me as a horrible football take. And it's not that Pittsburgh will be drafting first overall.
Was it that I can PI anyone?
No, it's not that he could PI or get first down or Jake Fromm's the best quarterback on the Bills roster or Pittsburgh will have first overall. It's that he's having a hard time respecting the Packers because they got trounced in like week 4 by Tampa. But to me, that's amazing. Everything that's happened to the Packers since, in my opinion, is partially because of that day. You got to take a punch.
Tim,
Not everything is like perfect. Patrick Mahomes is the outlier. Comes into this league, wins everything right away. Jordan Spieth is an outlier. I mean, I don't think Mahomes is going to backdrop like Spieth. Russell Wilson is an outlier. Most people in pro sports, they take a punch.
What's going to happen to Herbert?
We're taking punches now.
Yeah, but he's not.
We'll probably have a horrible playoff loss before we climb a mountain, which God willing. That's part of it. You
That's
take
Paul.
punches. Not everyone's Tom Brady. So this whole thing that Tim, like, you got to take the punch early. The Packers took a big punch, and they're so much better for it. Pittsburgh didn't take a punch, and they're so much worse for it at the moment. But to your point, Pat, now they're incredibly undervalued, and I can't wait. Maybe I'm picking Indy this week, but I'd be excited to bet Pittsburgh with like complete public stank on Wild Card Weekend or something.
Well, who would it be? Because if the Pittsburgh loses this game, then they lose the game next week to the Browns, and let's assume that the Browns beat the Jets. The Browns win the division, and Pittsburgh falls to what? Can Pittsburgh fall out of the playoffs?
No, they could fall to like
they go to the 5 seed
or 5?
probably, and that would mean they go probably to Tennessee.
Interesting game.
Tennessee would maul them.
But Pittsburgh mauled them earlier this year.
Yeah, that game was.
Tim said it doesn't count because Tennessee made a
that
great
was a weird
second
game.
Oh
half
yeah, they
comeback.
were down. It was just like
34-3, and it ended.
No, but they moved that game from the day it was supposed to be to another day.
because Pittsburgh was
Pittsburgh
ready to
made
gobble them up, and then the league gave Tennessee an assist, being like, "Oh,
and
you're too COVID and you can't play."
And the Titans made a furious comeback in that game.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Titans are big fans of being down 40 points and then making the game look close. They did the same thing.
just saying
They did the same thing to Indy like 3 weeks ago.
Sure, I'm just saying Pittsburgh was a better team then, and they're a worse team. I don't know. If Pittsburgh gets to that point, that will have meant that they have lost 5 straight games. I ain't betting on them in the playoffs at that point.
Pittsburgh's
Maybe they'll win it all. I
loss-
don't know, but
Pittsburgh's loss to me was exponentially worse than the Rams.
it mattered. Well, it didn't matter more.
The Rams got
needed that
the
win
Ram.
badly, too.
You're right, but my point being is the Rams have been playing well. The Rams, when you've lost 2 in a row and you're in prime time, like the Ram, like sure, maybe the Rams were due for getting got. That should have been a game that Pittsburgh was hyper focused for. Shouldn't have come out pathetic. Shouldn't have turned the ball over, giving the Bengals short field, which made them have to feel extra weight all game that they clearly couldn't overcome. Going back to that Washington, their 3rd and 1 stats are pathetic. I saw a stat today, Pat. In the last 3 weeks, they're worse than the goddamn Jets in completion percentage, in points per game, in turnovers. Like they're the Jets in the last 3 weeks. Worse.
Well, 2 of the Jets' 3 best games have been in the last couple of weeks too. But yeah, look, none of that matters though, because like Pittsburgh is going to beat Cleveland on that last Sunday night of the year because the Browns never win those.
I'm
big
not
games
counting them out. I'm
for the
not
division,
counting
so
out
they're
Mike
gonna lose.
Tomlin. I'm not counting out this group. You almost wish like the best thing that could have happened this year for Pittsburgh was Ben getting a minor injury to like miss 2.5 weeks. Like maybe just to get
Sit him down for a bit.
rest, be a little fresher. He looked fucking high last night.
And they lost their bye week because of that Tennessee game early in the year.
They maybe should have found a way, but
then they had like a week off between the Baltimore games.
Being
so, right?
undefeated hurt them. It turned
Yeah,
the
but
season
they-
into some different like
but they-
concept
but
of
they
what
had-
had to be achieved.
They had a week off, but their game got rescheduled 3 times. They were still continuing to prepare for the game as if it was happening like a day.
Yeah,
from
but they
now.
weren't
They
taking
didn't
a
have a
hit.
bye week.
Yeah.
They prepared for a game that got canceled, and then it was their bye week. So they went to work up until Thursday, and then got told
I get
that's
it.
your week off.
That's unfortunate, but we're in the middle of a terrible pandemic
understand
and a
that.
virus that's everywhere. There's nothing. You
I'm
can
just
do
saying,
about
Well, you know
going-
what? I don't want to hear that. Oh, the Jets are getting screwed by the schedule next year.
I'm
Well,
just
they
saying,
probably will get screwed by the schedule.
being undefeated hurt them. They should have just. I know it's impossible. Like sort of Tim's thing about the Jets and how like there's nothing they could do differently. The Pittsburgh played. They played their schedule. They went 11-0. In theory, everything I'm saying is just in theory. Like in hindsight, it would have been nice to just drop a game or 2 early and be 11-3 today, feeling a lot different about it.
Well, Paul had the
Yeah, going 11-5 into the playoffs. I mean, that's ugly.
Paul had the COVID fuck theory from earlier in the year when the Bills got COVID fucked and it threw them off for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, they played. Yeah, that was their.
Okay, but how long
Yeah,
do the
but
Steelers get that benefit of the doubt?
Steelers were supposed to bounce back last night.
Yeah,
They had
that's
8
the
days
thing.
off in a row, and then they laid
The
an
Washington
absolute
loss
egg, like a
surprised-
goose egg last
Finley
night.
couldn't throw the ball.
The
Finley
Washington
can't throw
lost.
ball.
The
And
Washington
they lost to him.
The Washington loss didn't surprise many. The Bills loss certainly surprised very few. They lost 2 games, whatever, bad spot games, the Bills game especially. That was supposed to be off 2 weeks. We practiced hard. We're going to get off the mat before maybe we can take a breather for the playoffs.
It's all Juju's fault for dancing on people's symbols.
I mean, it's
Well, he
funny
shouldn't
how
be doing
that's
that.
been
Exactly.
polarized, but what a chotch. You don't do that.
No,
Like
you
you're
don't.
the arbiter of what you should and should not do.
You shouldn't do that.
I don't have the talent, but I'd be smart enough. Other people on his team have to fucking cash checks that he's writing because of that bullshit.
Exactly.
I like that the other team wasn't inspired to play before that.
Football's funny
No,
like
but
that.
it's like when Emmett Smith absolutely took out TL, right? When he did dance on the middle of the
Shit's
Dallas
so
Star.
weird. Yeah, shit's so
don't
weird.
do that
These teams
stuff.
have like
You
their
just
logo on the carpet of their locker rooms, and they get mad like if a reporter walks through the logo. Like it's on your fucking floor,
Well, I mean,
man.
when you're dealing with a bunch of people with CTE, I guess that makes sense.
No,
making
but if you
fun of
show
hockey
disrespect
people?
to your
What's that?
opponent, it's
I
just
say you making fun of hockey people?
Well, I mean, all I do is make fun of hockey people.
anyway. You don't show disrespect to your opponent. That's all.
Okay. We're here for
Well,
the
you don't.
We are watching this for entertainment purposes.
No one's entertained by that. Literally nobody.
If I was playing football, I was on Juju's team, I would be like, you got to stop that, man, because you're just giving the other team
What, incentive to win? Because
You're
they
just
didn't
giving
want to
them
win? Tim just
more-
said they're all trying to
You're
win.
getting people more fired up than you need to be.
I would say
It's
that's
human
probably-
nature.
it's
If you
probably
inspire
better to get
somebody
people-
more about something, it works.
I would say it's probably better to get people more fired up because then they're playing too emotionally and then they'll make mistakes.
Well, how has
No,
that
I
been
don't
working out for them the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like it's been a real solid plan.
But they didn't do it the previous 2 weeks. It was just on Monday night.
Yes, they did. He's been doing it every week.
Has he been doing
He
it?
did
every
it to
week?
the Bills, and then the Bills. There's like all these Bills players who have their on social media. They were just like take that like for dancing on our
He's
symbol. Like
lucky
people
if
were
that-
mad about it.
Well, did he
If
do
co-
it in any,
if COVID
any
wasn't
games
here
before
and-
the 3 weeks?
Sorry, say again.
Has he just done it the last 3 weeks? Or has he been doing it all season?
I'm not entirely sure.
He's
He's
been doing it all
definitely been
season.
doing
What
it.
about
He
the-
did it
what
to
about
the
the
Bills.
first
He
11
did it to
games?
the Bengals. And there may actually be one. I'm not sure. Washington was at Pittsburgh, I believe. So that one wasn't the case. But he
If
did
there
it against
weren't any
somebody else
COVID,
earlier this season too. I
There
don't
weren't any COVID, and he did that in Buffalo. One of those crazy Bill fans would have run onto the field and tried to tackle him.
Yeah, and that would have worked out really well. It's just like when you say that you can like run for 10 yards. Yeah, well, that works out for Joe, the fat idiot with the dildo trying to tackle Juju Smith-Schuster.
He
Even
didn't say it was gonna be
guys,
successful.
even people that like played like some higher level, like exponentially higher levels of football than Tim, acknowledge like they couldn't do it, but like Tim can.
Yeah, Tim can. Of course. It's incredible athlete, Tim Andercust. Played football once when he was 12. Played tackle football when he was 12.
The center.
And he was 3 times the size of everyone.
The
Still wasn't good.
center. Yeah.
No, I wasn't. In fact, I was not 3 times the size. The bigger guys had to have the red stripes on their helmet because they were only allowed to play defensive tackle and offensive line. I was not big enough for that.
So too unskilled to play any of the skill
Do
positions.
we have to talk about the next game?
Yeah, we do. Cincinnati and Houston. Fun game. Houston's favored by 8.5 at home. 45.5 is the over/under. Cincinnati just won their Super Bowl. Take Houston.
Agreed. Same logic here. I wouldn't tease them because like you're out of your mind to tease the Texans right now. But yeah, we're taking the Texans to cover.
Coin like Cincy. I got Cincy in the Monday night game. You guys both got that one wrong.
Yeah, I thought Pittsburgh's just going to bounce back off the losses. I only have one question I care about as it pertains to this game.
Is Finley starting?
Home league finals. Would you be starting Watson or Herbert?
Probably Herbert. I
would
think
play
I think I
Watson.
have them 7 and 8 in my rankings.
Yeah, they're
6 and 7.
yeah, they're pretty probably piggybacked a lot.
Just
of
whoever
places.
you've been playing, play. The touchdown upside, regardless of who the receivers are for the Chargers, is just higher. It's because Watson's. It's tough, man. He has no one to throw
He had
to.
a really good game again. He kind of shredded the Colts in many ways last week.
He did, but the one like he should have had the touchdown to Kiki at the end. They fumble, like just for whatever reason, his touchdown rate per game without Will Fuller is just atrocious. But he's picking up a lot of rushing yards. Are you taking Houston?
Houston, sort of the same reason. Sort of the same reason I took whoever against the Jets also.
Tim, do you have a mini Cust corner, or do we do that kind of at the top with you unboxing the gift?
We kind of did it off the top. I mean, people were mocking me about being escorted at the grocery store the other day.
I forgot about
but
that. I don't think we mentioned that
You
on
can
the
leave
show.
that.
Can you, is that what you, was that the story that you were saving for the Christmas Day show?
No, I have another grocery store story. For,
Well,
Christmas
tell the
Day.
people what you told us about being escorted to the hot dogs.
I don't know.
Well, I was at I was at the Costco the other day, and the thing that they love to do is to move merchandise around the store so you don't know where it is. So you have to go like looking for it. Maybe you'll find something else you want to buy. Whether it's good marketing or not, it's annoying for me as the consumer. I wanted their foot-long beef hot dogs because they're really good, and I wanted them to have them to cook at home.
Where
And
you
I wanted
Frank the Tank.
I just think they're excellent. They're actually an excellent hot dog, and I couldn't find them, and I had trouble finding an employee who could escort me to where they were. That's a huge store that you can just say, oh, it's in aisle X. Well, first, the aisles aren't even numbered there. And even if maybe there are numbered way up in the air, I've never seen them. I'm not traipsing all the way down those long freezer aisles, looking at every single box to see where they are. I'm the customer. Please escort me to where the goods are that I want to buy. It's the same if I go to Canadian Tire or some other store. If I'm looking for light bulbs and they say, oh, that's in aisle 74, I don't know what aisle 74 is. I don't work here.
It says aisle 74.
I honestly can't
don't go
believe
here.
you can't be told had to get something from Home Depot. I asked the lady. She told me the aisle. I went there.
I'm not rooting through all these aisles. I'm there to spend my money. I'm not going to then go through the effort
The
of
numbers
like,
are
not a
the
scavenger
size.
hunt.
The numbers are the size of like this table. Like they're.
I don't care. It's not a scavenger hunt where I have to search for what I'm trying
If
to
you
buy.
know how
So-
to
so-
count
so
and you
he-
know how to walk in descending or ascending order,
That's a lot to ask.
you'll figure it
He
out,
needs,
man.
he needs
I'm
a
there
personal
to
escort
spend
to
money.
go get his hot dogs, and he left. He didn't buy anything. He just left. I'm surprised you didn't need to be escorted to the exit to find that too.
Oh, they didn't give it to you and you walked out without buying anything?
I did buy some other things. I just didn't buy the hot dogs because no one could show me where the hot dogs.
Firstly, you're a I'm a big guy, but like you need solo footlongs? That seems revolting. You're not like at a ball game.
Probably shoves him up his fucking urethra.
They're fantastic done like fried, for example. They're
What do you-
excellent.
hold
What
on,
kind of bun do you
hold-
use
hold
for
on.
something
What
like
do you
this?
do?
New
fried-
England style hot dog buns.
What do you fry these things in?
A frying pan with onions that are like super crispy, and some Pam.
You just spray Pam on the hot dog?
No, in the frying pan to get it hot and sizzling.
That's what you consider frying it?
And then I fry it on the stove until it's hot and crispy. And then I crisp the onions up in the pan as well. Sometimes I'll add oil, like some olive oil or something.
Wait, so
Just a
sometimes you
tiny
add
touch.
oil. You're not so you're dry heating it?
No, I add the Pam first.
Yeah, that's not doing anything, Tim. That's making sure it doesn't stick.
Well, whatever. That's what I do. And I fry them up that way with some onions and put them in a New England style hot dog bun. And they're excellent.
Sounds fucking
Love them.
gross.
And you put some full grain mustard on it or something. And it's excellent.
Oh boy.
I really like the ones at Costco. And the line at that point, I was ready to go just to the to the food court place where you get the $1.50 hot dog, but I just didn't. I wasn't going to go do that. So
I'm surprised you
I
didn't
don't
buy
know.
like half a dozen of them and just put them in your fridge, like cooked and sauced up. And you'll just nuke them for 25
I
seconds.
actually like the hot
Anyway,
dogs
as the
Costco.
customer,
apparently they
I
have a
shouldn't
thing.
if the thing isn't right there next to me, I shouldn't have to like search and go play hide and seek. I should be escorted to whatever item I'd like to purchase. That's the least you can
You're a
do.
grown ass man.
Yeah. Okay. But like those aisles are huge at Costco.
You're
I'm
a
not
grown
going-
man, like in your mid 30s. This guy's got to help freaking moms with babies or like senior citizens. He tells you aisle 12. He figures you could figure it out, man, and see the hot dogs.
I simply say, I'm sorry, I don't know where that is. I don't work here. Could you show me?
You're such a punk.
And I have never had a person say no.
And this guy said no?
I couldn't find anybody to escort me.
As someone,
I was
again,
looking for someone. I couldn't
I'm
find
the only
someone.
one who here. I haven't worked at a Costco, but having worked in a grocery store, you have to do it because it's a part of your job. Some like Karen, like Tim, comes up to you and demands to be walked over to something because they're too stupid to find it. Like you have to do it. You
Yeah.
can't say no, or you might get fired. That's part of the gig. But
Oh, I'd complain. If someone said no to me, I'd complain.
yeah, I know because you're a Karen. Yes, Paul.
I worked at a Costco.
Oh yeah, and did you enjoy escorting people to stuff they couldn't find, which were very easy to find?
Yeah, like I mean, I was pretty personable, but there
You
was
enjoy doing it.
most of my fellow employees were more in line with probably telling the person, "Hey, go check out aisle 12."
Isn't it true, though, that they move stuff around constantly so you'd never know where something is?
That is definitely the strategy. We were constantly
So it's not
moving.
my fault.
We were moving crates all the time.
They're not moving the
You're
freezers.
trying to confuse people so that they have
but
to look
where-
around
listen to-
for
yeah.
things, for sure.
Where the hot dogs were the last time I was there was in the very tiny freezer at the front of the aisle, like the little side part there. This time they weren't there.
And did
So
you
they
make
moved
any
them-
effort to just scroll some freezers?
There's 5 freezer aisles. I'm not going to be spending my time traipsing up and down those big wide aisles looking for where the hot dogs are. No, sir. All I want is somebody to tell me where
Precious
they are.
time.
and
Yeah,
take me to them.
Yeah, your
What-
time. What are you
do-
doing with your
what
other
did you
time?
do with all that time you saved by not
Extra
doing that?
3 minutes to find a product you clearly wanted.
It's hard to find employees at Costco. All I wanted to do was to track one down and ask where the hot dogs were, and also if they could direct me to some coleslaw that I couldn't.
As opposed to
And-
walking 40 feet to just scroll to see where
There's
the
multiple aisles that are freezer aisles at Costco. I'm sorry. I'm a customer spending my money and time. I shouldn't have to do any labor.
Yeah, but it's not
It should be done for
okay,
me.
those are frozen pizzas, not there. That is fish sticks, not there. That's the
I
chicken
guess
fingers,
I like service.
not there.
I guess I like service. Guilty as charged. If you think this is bad, wait till you hear the story I tell on Christmas Day. 'cause
I'm intrigued. And the
bad.
fact that you're probably annoying these people.
That's the whole thing. The fact you don't even give it an
They're
effort.
taking so much crap from actual people. You don't even have the ability to just do it yourself.
to tease it, I went to the grocery store with my grandmother, and her behavior was far worse than what you think my behavior is.
So what you're saying is that your behavior is just learned behavior.
This is what Tim said that you would say when I told him the story.
Did Tim enjoy the story?
A couple of my friends heard it and thought it was pretty funny. It's basically me trying to mediate. And I'll tell it. This is good SEO for the Christmas show. Let's just say that I'm not the villain of the piece here, the way you think I am in this one.
Paul?
Do you think? Oh, you're right there, Geoff.
Oh,
Drop my precious box.
Oh. Do you think they returned to having the free samples and stuff at Costco?
yes, they're back. They were back when I was there.
Oh,
Believe
wow.
it or not.
Super
I
spreader.
couldn't believe it. Well, no, everything's all the people are encased in plastic, and there's a little door that they lift and put it through, from what I could tell, and things are individually already cut and portioned. So I mean, it's pretty socially distanced for that concern. But I was absolutely gobsmacked that it was there. It's like, oh wow, these are back. That's great. The thing is, you're wearing a mask inside, so it's not like you can really eat them. You have to take your mask off to eat it, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't have any of the samples, although I usually do like the samples. They're usually pretty good.
Do you know what the most frustrating part, Geoff, about a mask is wearing it in places?
What?
When you want to go to Harvey's and you don't have one,
That would be 1A. I guess 1B would be, I don't know if you suffer from this as well. I don't know how your Android works, but do you have the Face ID for everything?
No.
My Apple Pay is Face ID. It doesn't work with the mask. It sucks. I have to punch in my fucking password every time. That's
Yeah,
not why
I
I
bet
have a
you-
Face ID.
I would be shocked if the next version of iPhones, if they're not Face ID, it'll be like Retina ID.
Oh, see, yeah, that would work out well.
Or back to the fingerprint, which was fine.
No, but then that just took up space on the screen.
Yeah, but you could figure out another way to do that where it doesn't take up space.
I like the Face ID.
I mean, I do too. I'm just saying.
Just hard, you just can't do it with a mask. Hopefully, by the next version of the iPhone. then-
We won't need the masks. Yeah,
Exactly. So I do have one Tim story here, Geoff, for you. He sent us a text because our text thread on Sunday during football ends up going like 500 texts back and forth between four of us. At 7:15 during the end of either the Jets game or it was the Kansas City game, can't quite remember. He just goes, "Oh no," was his text. And he thought that we were in the room with him when he texted it. As it was pointed out, it just says, you can't say, "Oh no, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. Remember, we aren't in the same room as you." And Tim's response to it was, "Ha ha ha ha, true." That's crazy person.
No, I thought
behavior.
you guys were watching the same game I was watching, which is why I said, "Oh no."
No, they're watching the
when-
Chiefs and the Saints play.
It was brought to my
or the
attention that they weren't.
or Hurts versus Murray.
Yeah, it
That's
was
the
brought to my
games
attention
other
they
humans
weren't.
were watching.
I
dude.
started to laugh because I realized how silly it was that I had been presuming that they were watching what I was watching. Yes, I agree.
How good was that character?
As the main character in my own story, I assume that people are like connected to what I'm up to.
All right. Late set of games. Denver at the Chargers. -3.5 for the Chargers. 49 is the over-under. We don't need to talk about this game. We talk about the Chargers too much. But I want to see, We got to see it. The big reveal. What is that, like a $9,000 card you won?
So here's the thing. What happened?
You're running hot with these breaks.
No, I've done a couple, and they weren't decently successful. But my boy at Coffee Breaks was doing a big break, random teams for 4 Prism boxes. I was not a part of it because I don't do random. But I sort of tracked down who won the rights to the Chargers. And we made a deal. And I bought the rights to the Chargers for that 4-box Prism break. And in exchange, I'm doing a 2-box Prism break on the Geoff Fienberg show tomorrow night. I sort of said, I have these 2 Prism boxes. You can like have your run of the litter. Like, who do you want from those 2 to sort of offset me just taking the Chargers in those 4? And I threw in a little cash as well. But I won that trade. So, geez, these are just empty cases.
Oh, so
I asked for supplies.
Yeah, because when you went to the store last time, you couldn't get them.
I probably opened the box wrong, but I appreciate all these supplies that I'll need for my break tomorrow. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Andy. Coffee breaks. Oh, I need these supplies for tomorrow.
Does he have a theme song like Body Break? Coffee Break.
Okay, Pat. So now here we are. So there's a lot of cards here because I did Charger break, so I get like all the Chargers.
And now we're going to go through each one individually.
No, we're not. I got to see how these are packaged because I'm going to have to package out some cards after my break, which is kind of the most annoying thing about it. So I guess these are just all like the random Charger cards that came out in the break.
Is the one in the gold wrapping the Herbert one?
Probably specially wrapped in there. Oh, no, because I got some other stuff too.
Oh, what else did you get?
I bought myself one present that I shipped to Andy. Okay, so I guess, yeah, these are the good ones. So yeah, this is what I got in the break. This is the camo Herbert.
You're on that camera, Geoff. So that's the...
Did you wear that jersey?
That's not a patch auto. I'll rant about those, but we've gone too long today. This I saw sell for $3,500 US the other day.
Is that his actual signature, or is that a facsimile of it?
No, it's an actual signature.
Okay.
Pat, don't rip them or burn them. This is just a Herbert base. I actually scored 2 of these in the break, and I sent one out to the guy that I bought the spot off of.
Oh, how nice of you.
Because I figured he must be not happy.
How much are those ones?
They're about 150.
Okay.
So that was nice to me. This is a blue, not autographed, but at a $199. This sold for about $1,100 yesterday on the internet. So yeah, these are the goods.
When are you going to sell all these?
I don't know, Pat.
Never.
And then this
Never
is the
selling
only
the
card
Herbert
I've
cards.
bought since the last time we were together. I treated myself to a Justin Herbert Rose Bowl patch.
Nice.
Because I love the Rose Bowl. I absolutely am enthralled with it. And the jersey patches for the NFL are absolutely pathetic because they're old jerseys. I don't want to get into it. But even this fresh release of a product that's really high end still has old jerseys. Fuck Panini. That's embarrassing. You
want an Ian Book Rose Bowl?
I saw someone with a Cam Akers, and it's the old jersey for the Rams too. So it's pathetic. Here's some.
How
other
much is the
things.
college one?
Pardon?
How much did you pay for that?
I paid money.
Over under $1,000.
Under.
Over under
$500.
$700.
You're in the ballpark of that.
And that's American money too, right?
That's the only card I've purchased in a while. No, maybe a little less.
So American money plus custom exchange. So you're paying like $1,200 for that.
I guess these are some other Charger cards that came in the break, and some other Herberts, some lower end.
Some shitty Herberts.
Some lower end.
You'll just give away to be nice.
No, we'll see.
It seems like there's a lot of these cards out there. I think this whole card thing's a racket. They're paying like 3 or 4 people to say they're valuable. And it turns out that's no different than
Maybe.
like Pro Set in the early 90s.
See, you could be right because there are a lot. That's the one thing that I've noticed. It's hard to keep up. There's so many brands. That's why I'm sort of just trying to be specific, and I kind of just want it over.
By be specific, you mean you're buying them all?
No, I'm certainly not. There's someone's like, do you have any of these? And I never even heard of that brand. Maybe it wasn't high end enough for me.
I
don't
want them
know.
all. That's Malibu Stacy, but she has a new hat.
No, Pat, you're 100% right. I would say it seems like there's probably something's got to give, and football, like there's such a low floor when investing in football, like buying a box of football, because there are so few players that actually have transcendent value. Really, only outside of only quarterbacks really hold high value or Hall of Fame caliber position players. Basketball seems like if you make an investment, your floor is so much higher.
Well, there are so few players.
But there are so many more players that make an actual impact. Like a Hall of Famer, like a dominant best player in the game, transcendent player kind of, can come from any position from the hobby prospect in basketball. Like from center through... Like,
Sure.
In football, it's really just quarterback or elite like running back receivers. So.
Like if you had like a Justin Jefferson right now.
That is hot. So I should spend more time with these high end ones. I haven't given them the attention they deserve.
Paul?
I'm getting choked up
Because
Thank
I got
you,
a
Andy.
because I got a card from a Christmas card from Tim. Thank you for that, by the way. I was looking at Sam Darnold's prisms the other day. That market not so hot. They were like going for like $5.
Michael Salfino said it was more valuable than Bitcoin.
Oh my
Never
god!
wrong.
This guy is becoming a parody of himself.
Salfino is like the serious Tim, but just the most miserable human being.
This
on
guy,
Earth.
no, whatever. He can do his thing. This guy, like some nothing to do with Keenan Allen only playing a snap. Sort of calling out Keenan Allen's like catches.
I forgot about this. Yes, that's right.
If Keenan Allen was on the Jets, Salfino would be guzzling his nuts. I don't say that in a mean way. So, like, what do you mean 100 catches from with those yards? Get out of here. He's like the second best route runner on the planet.
I mean, Pete Rose was a good hitter, but they were just mostly singles.
No, I don't.
Okay, COVID, you okay?
No.
You got too choked up from all the Herberts. Was there anthrax?
Maybe
in
those
that package?
cards had the Rona on them.
Yeah, those came from America. Get away.
Super spreader.
Get my mask. Says the golf draft results on it. Don't want to have it get in the way.
Yeah, whatever.
I got
don't
my
even know where we
COVID
were.
test, by the way. I got the old thing up the schnoz.
I don't even know where we were.
Was it as uncomfortable as it looks in real life?
It's like 5 seconds.
Okay.
My 23-year-old month son got one. He was fine.
I don't need to break the game down. If that Denver secondary is 6 string, the Chargers are going to freaking roll them. Like Josh Allen type rolling.
I'm going to take Denver. Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Chargers bad favorites. The Chargers.
Yeah, that may be true, but I'm going to take them nonetheless.
Mel G revenge game too.
True.
So again,
I'm not offering that prism for charity this time.
No, you're not?
That Herbert Mosaic.
What about
auto.
that new one? That new one you got?
No chance.
No chance? Carolina at Washington. No idea who's starting for Washington under center. It could be Alex Smith. He could be back. Do you see what happened to Dwayne Haskins, Tim?
Yeah, there's no way he can play. There's just no way. There's no way he can take a snap this week. So
now, I don't want to be too
let it be
judgy.
Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas should play anyway because, like, Haskins can't.
Haskins was okay last week, actually.
He was dreadful. Just dreadful.
Heineke is the guy that will start. The guy that started week 17 last year for the Panthers, I think.
Yeah, I'll take the Panthers in this game.
Ron Rivera revenge game?
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm less impressed by this Washington team than some people are.
You
Obviously,
just
I
said
pick
that they
against
were a
them a
really
lot.
tough matchup for the Bucks.
I think their front seven poses a good matchup against Tampa. Tampa is the team of any of the teams I think Washington could beat in the first round. They would be the team. Anyway, but I think Carolina has the capacity to score enough points. I mean, Washington wins games
when the points total is like 24 or fewer. And I feel like even though last week was aberrant that the Panthers only scored 13 or whatever it was, or 16, I mean, I don't feel super confident about it, but I would predict the Panthers to score enough to cover, and I think that they would probably win on the field. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I just don't know what to make of this Panthers team. So without any sort of like force or strength behind it, I'm going to take the Panthers.
I'm going to take Washington -2. Me and the coin going on Washington here. I don't care who plays quarterback. If it's Alex Smith, I feel very good about it. Not sure whether not sure whether McCaffrey's back or not for this game. But Geoff, after a loss and you were the starting quarterback of an NFL football team, would you go to the strip club?
Without a mask,
I think that's very.
Just optically, it's a very
It's
bad
horrible.
idea.
It's horrible. I came in today listening to some NFL radio. I wasn't sure who it was. The player, like, kind of felt bad throwing Haskins under the bus because he's like, I took a lot of tough losses and we hung out at strip clubs after tough losses, but you got to be so much more self-aware in 2020.
And also, you're the
that
quarterback.
You just can't do it.
You are held to a different standard when you're the starting quarterback of a team.
You're a different standard. It's 2020. I think everyone understands, like, a bad day of the office blowing off steam, but there's no sympathy for that, I guess, right now. Funny, like James Harden was the same thing, but, you know.
Not the starting QB in the nation's capital.
The NBA actually had to send out like a memo to beg its players to avoid strip clubs right now.
I fucking hate strip clubs. I really do.
I do
don't
too.
get it.
Do you want to? I mean, I'll embarrass myself. I can't stand them. We're in Canada and we have such better strip clubs.
Yeah, we have very lax strip club rules.
We could do like have so much more fun than like you guys can here. To me, they still suck. I don't care. It's just a tease. I'd rather spend 6 minutes in front of the computer and get it over with than have to be there throwing money out all night for the same end result. If that's what I want to get out of my evening.
That's not why people go to strip clubs, though. It can't be.
You're right. I guess I don't, but I never was one of these guys like, oh, let's go to the strip club for the chill of it. Like,
No,
I
have
let's
like
have a couple beers.
I have
and go
2
to
or
strip
3
clubs.
friends who are really down on it. They're the weirdest fucking people on earth. Real creepy.
But in the States, unlike Canada, well, in Montreal, this is a thing. Like straight out, like full course meals at strip clubs. That's something like people do, and like it's an offering. That's not something I've really ever experienced. Where like they literally claim that they're going. Some of these athletes claim no, they like the food.
When we were on a bachelor party in Miami, one of the reasons we chose to go where we did was because every single recommendation our friend kept reading about the place kept saying, this has really good food. That was like the selling feature.
I've had bacon and eggs. I've had bacon and eggs at Super Sex in Montreal. I've had the breakfast buffet.
That's closed?
Le Super Sex.
It was closed when we went there in 2016. It had closed. So it's been closed for a long time now.
I didn't realize it was closed then.
Yeah.
Which one did we go to?
Oh, Lord. Chez Paris, perhaps?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And Club Downtown, I think.
Club Downtown, that's correct.
Montreal was great.
Montreal
loves
will
it.
be great again.
Montreal's a fun city. It's got the best smoked meat sandwich in the world. It's got the best hockey team in the world. It's a good place.
Talk to like NHLers. They love going there. Talk to anybody that played in the major leagues over the years. Montreal was a place on a road trip.
Morency used to say that early Sunday baseball game for the Expos was the freest money on the board.
I believe it.
Just like the Rams money line?
Like the Raptors Sunday afternoon games are usually.
I believe it.
Washington or Carolina, Geoff?
Carolina, easy.
Cards, okay.
I'm just trying to get organized, so just pack them back up.
Philly and Dallas. Dallas is a 2-point dog at home. Jalen Hurts, the third best rookie from this draft, according to Tim. 49.5 is the over-under. Eagles roll here, right?
I don't know what role. The Cowboys have won the last 2 games and have been competitive, and the Eagles are still a bad football team. I'm going to take the Eagles, but I don't think they roll. I think maybe they win it by 7.
I'm taking the Eagles as well. I don't know what to make of Dallas. It kind of felt like San Francisco just turned the ball over every time they were in a position to finally take control of the game.
Yes.
Coin likes Dallas.
So give me Philadelphia.
All right, so round to Philadelphia. Coins on Dallas. Rams in Seattle.
Is Zeke playing? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter in terms of the spread. I have no. They're probably worse if he plays. He's not healthy. Rams at Seattle. Seattle's 1.5 point favorite at home. 47 is the over-under. You're really down on the Seattle team, Tim, and your precious Rams. Not
Well,
great.
the books are on my side. The books think the Rams are the better team. The Hawks are only laying 1.5 points at home. Yeah, give me the Rams. Big bounce back. Seattle should have beaten Washington by a lot more. Other than the game where they just completely disassembled the Jets, Seattle has had their troubles. But Seattle's a fascinating team when they get into the playoffs. So are the Rams. Like I said, I think the NFC is wholly up for grabs. So this is a great game. I think the winner will probably clinch the division for all intents and purposes. Although I guess the Rams could lose next week to the Cardinals. That's a tough game. But the Rams certainly get a big leg up if they win, having swept the season series. So, yeah, I like the Rams here. In fact, I like them enough that we're going to tease them all the way up to 8.5. I think it'll be a close game either way. I don't think either team has beaten the other by more than a touchdown.
Rams have covered the last 3, although, I don't know. Losing to the Jets is a real stink that can get on you.
Yeah, I think they'll bounce right back, though.
Seattle?
This is a team that
I'm going to take Seattle. Just give me the team with the better quarterback. That's where I want to go in this game.
I'm just piggybacking that.
We got to organize those cards. Sunday night game, Tennessee at Green Bay. A Matt LaFleur revenge game. Green Bay is favored by 3.5 at home. 56 is the over-under. Some may say that Aaron Rodgers is just going to throw all over Tennessee. Pat Mayo says that Tennessee is going to run train all over Green Bay. I love Tennessee in this game. Tim keeps talking about how the NFC sucks and the AFC is good. If he's right, Tennessee is going to hammer the Packers. I love Tennessee. Also my super lock, plus 3.5 this week.
Wow. I can see it. Tennessee
I agree
should
with you.
manhandle them.
This is the... You actually all right?
Yeah, I finally actually got whatever was stuck gone. And I finished my drink a long time ago. So
You put your mask on for the rest of the show. You're like spitting at me too. It's not great. Coin likes Tennessee. Are we all on Tennessee?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tennessee comfortably.
Well, that's not good. Is everyone going to think the same way here?
No, the people are going to go to the counter and say, Green Bay at home in primetime? Rodgers is probably MVP, even though he isn't. I'm going to bet like the world's going to be on Green Bay, I think. Not as much as like you might see a heavy Sunday night handle the way the Chiefs were against the Raiders a few weeks ago, but the money is definitely going to be on Green Bay, not Tennessee. The books are going to need the Titans.
The under has cash in each of the past 6 games that Green Bay has played where the over has been 55 or over. And this over-under is 56.
This is
56?
the Packer coach was the Titan coordinator, right? So this would be the first game, probably.
Yeah, it's a revenge game. For LaFleur.
Although they go from LaFleur to Arthur Smith, so
Jeff's chin diapering right now.
I know, yeah. Put on the mask. Okay.
I like these a lot. I want to buy an extra one.
Keep your face warm.
I'm all about these Gators.
That's it.
Titans.
The Packers only play 2 good quarters in every game. So just
Correct. Then they just stopped trying.
That was weird. That game really flipped right before the half. The Packers were doing everything, and then before the half, the Panther defense like got real stout, and then they were getting there all second half.
It was strange. Final game. Paul, this one's for you. Buffalo on Monday night. The league knew Buffalo. Get them into primetime as much as possible.
4 in a row.
They're 7-point favorites on the road in New England. 46 is the over-under.
They're getting treatment even Brady didn't get, Pat. Sunday night versus Arizona Monday versus Arizona into Sunday versus Pittsburgh into standalone Saturday versus Denver into Monday Night Football. What the fuck?
Josh Allen.
This team is gonna play its first playoff game. Maybe I'll bet them, maybe I won't. But that will be an inflated spread. Because America, for good reason, is falling in love with these guys, and I love the Mafia, and I'm thrilled for him.
Josh Allen is the people's MVP.
What a guy. What a guy. You can't get a Josh Allen jersey in Western New York right now, or like on NFL Shop.
The coin loves the Bills.
I love the Patriots.
Really?
And they're teasing them up to 14. I feel really good about the Pats in this spot. At home against a Bills team that, I mean, they have basically all but everything locked up. What are they really playing for? The 2 seed versus the 3 seed, I guess. But they'll still almost certainly, play at home in week 2 of the playoffs. Maybe not. But it's anyway, I just don't think they have I don't think they're ginned up for it. Now, I thought they had a letdown last week, and they didn't. I was dead wrong about that.
They
But
are
this is the
so
But
due.
this is the Patriots. The Patriots find a way, like they did again last week against Miami, like they did against Arizona. They find a way to like grapple these games into really low scoring affairs. Even if the Bills win the game, to win it by 7, I don't see it. This could be like a 20 to 15, 21, 16 type of game. That type of like ugly, glaring type of football game. And I'm going to take the Patriots to cover the number because of it and tease them up.
The Patriots have covered consecutive home games, and the under has cashed in 4 straight games at Foxborough. But I think this is the game. I guess the Denver game was probably the easiest game they've had during this run. But New England's out of sorts.
Yeah.
They're just not good. All their players are hurt now. Buffalo's fucking steamrolled.
Officially eliminated. I was just about to say almost what you said.
The Patriots will show you how you lose games.
Your teaser's not safe because these Bills are elite right now. I'll love to see Dabo scheme open receivers like he's done versus everybody, versus a disenfranchised Patriot roster. This is going to be a smoke show. The Bills are so due for a letdown, and maybe they hope it happens week 17. Because, like, I do feel a letdown's got to come, but I don't think versus their rival to just throat stomp them while they're playing.
You want to lay 7 points in Foxborough? You go right ahead. Me, I'm not so sure.
Paul, how fired up for you for the Bills to beat the Patriots Monday night in New England?
Patriots season ended last week.
So this is like
Belichick's not an idiot like Gase. He's not going to win games that he doesn't need to. This is going to Stephen Gilmore's going to be out. Like our run defense is back. Who knows who the Patriots are going to be putting out there? This is a Bills beatdown.
What could go wrong?
Bills
what could go wrong?
beatdown.
This will be for the first time in a long time. The Patriots haven't been great. They played some good games. They played some bad games. We are going to see a disenfranchised Patriots team that is literally there. This could be my super lock.
Winning this game,
I think Buffalo shit kicks them.
Winning this game matters for the Bills. It's if they win and the Colts win and the Browns win and Miami wins, then it actually probably is better for the Bills to lose to Miami in Week 17 to keep Baltimore out of the dance. But this game matters. This game really matters. I was up on the playoff machine last night.
I thought you were going to say Bills Reddit because I bet you that must be fun these days.
I've never been on there.
Yeah, sure.
I bet you it's a good time though. You're right.
Yeah, a few times I've been there, it hasn't been.
Just yelling, "Let's go Buffalo!"
Essentially,
the people, the fans of Buffalo have been waiting a long time for this, and the team looks amazing right now. I mean, 7 points seems like a lot going into New England, but it doesn't really matter. There's no fans. So, like, what is really home field advantage this year?
Going into
Bills
the playoffs, Geoff,
beat down.
Yeah.
the Bills have the best chance to upset the Chiefs? Are they the team who's geared the best to do it because they can get into like a 50-50 game with them?
Yeah, I do. I also am crazy enough to think the Titans and Colts.
I was
might have
about
a
to say,
bit
if
of a
I had
recipe too.
gun to my head in one game, I guess I would pick Tennessee to be the team that would upset the Chiefs, even though I don't think anybody.
But we saw it last year.
And they jumped out to a huge lead. It didn't matter.
It wasn't as huge as the other games that the Chiefs came back from. It was actually only a 10-point lead or a 13-point lead. But I don't know. I just think that, again, the Titans are another year wiser and probably wouldn't make those mistakes again. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to beat them. But if somebody does, yeah, I think it'd probably be Tennessee.
Now, this might come back to haunt me, but do you know who I do think is a very sneaky bad matchup for the Colts? Not that anyone's a bad matchup for the Colts.
Sneaky bad for
the
Colts?
Like the Colts are going to be at least Colts at home. They're at least 6-point favorites in every playoff game, probably more than that.
But they won't be at home, and probably.
You don't think the Chiefs will be at home in any game?
You said the Colts.
Oh, sorry, I meant the Chiefs. The Browns are the worst matchup for them.
Why? That would require the Browns to win a big game.
So just run.
The Browns will run, and you let their defensive line dominate the bad up front with the Chiefs, and hopefully they can rattle Mahomes enough that it's almost like the Miami game, but the difference being...
God, I could not have the Browns in the Super Bowl. That cannot happen.
Browns or Dolphins in the Super Bowl? What would be worse?
Oh, Dolphins would be worse.
Or Bills.
Or what if it was Browns versus Dolphins in the Super Bowl because they said, you know what, the NFC is too shitty, we can't have a team.
You know, I actually want to give... Are
you on eBay?
Something I was watching just sold.
Was it
I was hoping it wouldn't. Yeah, it was for $1,100.
Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Oh, 1,000?
You should say to Jeff, you don't have to shave your hair, but you get to pick 3 of his Herbert cards that he has to sell.
I actually want to sell a couple more this week.
Yeah, no, but Pat gets to pick the cards you have to sell.
No.
Or you shave your head. That would be the only way out of that.
Can I
bet.
sell cards? You mean like I give away cards to get out of shaving my head?
No,
Yeah, you have to sell them. You get the money for them.
You get the money
You
for
get
them.
the
I
money
just get
for
to
them.
pick whatever
But-
3.
Any 3, Pat says, those 3 you must sell, and you must prove to me they're sold. And if you do that, then you're off the hook from the head shaving.
No, I want the head
That
shape.
might-
I don't care about the fucking cards.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would say that might be the only way out. But
Fortunately, it looks
The
like
head
your
shave
hair will
will be-
grow back.
It's gonna grow back, but it's gonna stay.
I
And we'll
can't
know
wait for the
quickly, right? Like
can't wait for the
standard.
chips.
This is gonna be one of 2 things. The game is on the Sunday, week 17.
He's fired
it's
on the
either
Monday.
Sunday night he's fired, or Monday he's fired, and by Tuesday, if he's not fired, you'll get the statement from the team.
What if he's
Coach
promo-
Lynn
what
is
if he's
back.
we're
promoted?
disappointed.
What happens then?
If he's not the head coach, I don't lose my hair. I would have no problem if Anthony Lynn is promoted.
GM.
No,
No, it's correct. If he's not the head coach, Jeff wins. If he's the head coach, Jeff loses.
What if he's
That's a-
demoted to running back? coach?
special teams coach.
Yeah, that would be. He's done such a great job at that position.
You know what? The special teams has gotten better since he's taken over, but fuck him.
Well, what's better? The fact
Yeah,
that they aren't
exactly.
giving up touchdowns every game?
And this
There's
is
still
my
a world historically.
this is
bad
my
special
biggest
team.
complaint. The special teams has always been the worst. Why not ever try a gut like when half the time the field goal's miss or the punt is blocked? What's the biggest deal if you botch a fake?
Or just go for it?
Try it once in a goddamn while.
Your offense is
Giants
good.
did.
Just go for it.
That was pathetic. That was insane. I don't mean that.
Super locks for the week. I'm 6 and 8. Jeff is 10 and 5. The big leader here cannot be caught. Cust is 5 and 10, so he can still beat me. I'm taking Tennessee plus 3.5. Jeff. Chargers.
I don't want them to win. That's the problem. Give me Philly.
Philly -2 in Dallas. Tim's taking New England.
I'm going to take the Raiders.
Congratulations, Dolphins. You're going to the playoffs.
So your Boxing Day bonanza, Tim, is a 3-game money line parlay. That's the Bucks, the Cardinals, and the Raiders.
That's correct.
That
Do
pays,
do 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 do. Bonanza.
that pays plus 312. You also have a 7-point teaser that is Kansas City plus 4, Jacksonville plus 14.5, the Rams plus 8.5, and New England plus 14.
That's true. Let's get another double hit here.
What does that pay?
That's just plus 200.
And what are the Raiders' money line?
The Raiders money line right now, as I'm looking at it, is plus 135.
We know how this plays out.
So
He gets to Monday night, and the Bills win by like 30.
yeah, the Dolphins and Bills both just crush.
I'm not worried about it. Feeling good about things. Things are going well right now. The Irish are in the playoffs. The Jets have got to win. It's Christmas week. Things are going well.
Irish don't deserve to be in the playoffs, though, right?
Sure they do. They'll be fine.
Is
They're
it worth
I'm not
getting?
worried about
it. They're gonna get
Wouldn't it be better to
smacked.
go to like the Fiesta Bowl and maybe have a chance to win and just being embarrassed in the college football playoffs?
No, I want the playoff. I'm excited for them to be there 2 times in the last 3 years. And I think they'll give out, you know what? I actually think it'll produce a pretty good football game. I'm not saying we're going to win, but we're going to give Alabama fits and starts that they haven't seen in the SEC this season. So,
I think you'll be near. I think in your personal threads, you might be getting a win prediction before we get to game day.
And then they'll lose by like 40.
I don't think I can call a win because they're like 21-point dogs or something.
It's like Chargers 49ers, Super Bowl 29 type spread.
Well, that's right. Or Jets Colts Super Bowl 3 spread when the Jets won that game. But anyway, I think it'll be like a close. I think they'll cover the number. Whether they win the game, I think that's asking a bit much. But Alabama's not perfect. I mean, Florida took them to the wire. They won by 6 points over a very bad, in my opinion, Florida team in some ways. So please.
Did you watch
Like,
a lot? Did you watch a lot of Florida this year?
I watched their last quarter against Louisiana State when they played terribly, and then most of that Alabama-Florida game because that was more entertaining than the Panthers and Packers.
What do you think did better ratings?
Well, given that one game was on CBS and the other was on NFL Network, I actually think that the CBS game probably outdrew.
Ah, Tim, what you don't know about ratings.
Versus the NFL Network? Like,
Versus it's not CBS versus the NFL Network. It's children's football versus professional football.
Yeah, I know, but if one's on network TV and the other is on like an obscure cable channel, one would probably outdraw the other.
I don't think the NFL Network is an obscure cable channel.
Well, anything that isn't like the major networks or like ESPN or TNT, that's like major cable, and then everything else. Well, not HBO. HBO is not cable; it's in their name. But everything else is like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Kind of like
that.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's correct.
What I know is that I know nothing, as Socrates says.
FantasyGolfChampionship.com. Entries are open right now. $100 play, 5 max entry. The Listeners League link on DraftKings for the Pat Mayo Experience Week 16 is in the description. That only has 2,000 spots. That will also fill up very quickly, so go reserve your spot right now. Christmas Day, Cust Corner with me, Cust and Garion, is coming out, and the Golf Draft with me, Geoff, and 5-year favorites Monday and Tuesday next week. We'll be back next week, too, because we're actually here for like the first time ever. So we'll do a Week 17 show.
And
the best fantasy week of all. Hey,
Hey,
Pat, who do I start?
If anyone asks me Week 17 fantasy questions, you're getting blocked on Twitter.
So, like 2 weeks today, we technically could be shaving my head.
Yeah. Week 1 playoff show, we'll do it.
No, I'll give Geoff the grace period because we do it on Tuesdays. I would give him.
No, I'd want it. I would literally.
divisional round.
I would love to.
Just in case
No, I want it as soon as goddamn possible.
You can't unring the bell. You can't unring the bell. If let's say Tuesday we record and they fire him Wednesday, that's not fair.
Before we record, Tim, are you goddamn new here?
While we record, I have clippers. We will take care of this.
I'm just saying, this is a standard procedure for how coaches get fired.
But the Chargers are incompetent.
Sunday night, Monday morning firing, or Schefter Rappaport tweet, they've spoken to ownership, and the Chargers are committed to bringing back Anthony Lynn for 2021.
Fine. Let's do wild card weekend then. Sure, great. Let's do it then.
I want it done. I don't want to wait a week. That's a week before it grows back.
Okay.
You need to have it back for the Masters.
People really liked it. I got a lot of feedback. Like, even hit me up last week that my line of "I'm not any crazier, you're just getting to know me better" was quite a hit. It's probably true.
Do you feel like you're more or less crazy than Tim?
I don't even think it's close. I don't even think it's close.
I think you're crazier than Tim. He's just more insane than you are.
Sure.
I think there's a distinction.
I don't know what that even means.
Geoff wasn't that crazy this week,
That's true. You could have been crazier.
Well, this isn't even a competition.
It's not a competition.
He had Josh Allen as the worst quarterback on the Bills roster.
And how do I know that you're not going to walk upstairs to Shoppers Drug Mart and go demand that someone escort you to the energy drinks? Because you don't know where they are.
Can I admit something? I probably did something that is frowned upon in COVID.
Did you have masturbate in the plain bathroom?
No, but I was hoarding through the Coke bottles to find a Tim bottle.
Oh, that's for the purposes of the show, though. It'd be nice to do for Timothy.
Yeah, but I was like touching all the bottles and then like pulling them out, putting them in a different shelf. So I literally touched like 15 things of cola.
Well, were you coughing the entire time like you've been doing the show?
Did you find one with my name on it?
No.
They don't make them.
Did you do that today?
Yeah.
With your super spreader cough?
I had my mask on and I don't.
I hadn't opened the box yet.
I haven't.
Oh dear.
He shipped you some Herberts and some COVID from the United States.
Like the Osaka flu from The Simpsons.
All right, they'll do it. Shortest show in months.
Really?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
It took us a while to even talk about a game.
Yeah, but then we really glossed over it because no one cares anymore.
I'm in
Except
my
for,
home
like,
league finals. I care a lot.
We don't even talk about fantasy football on this show. I'm not doing a weekend updates either. My wife has told me I can't come in on Christmas Day and do an update. She'd be very upset about that. So, sorry, blame my wife for no injury update this week.
But will you be doing the live show on Sunday the 27th?
No.
No, the Week 16 live show? No? Okay.
No, I didn't do a Week 15 live show.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Jesus, Tim. Keep up to date.
I'm really excited to hear the story of him and his grandma.
Well, tune in Christmas Day for a very custy Christmas with Tim. That will do it on the show. Like I said, once again, fantasygolfchampionship.com. I will have a tweet that comes out that could get you potentially a free entry, but you don't want to wait for this 5 max. So maybe you get your 4 entries, then try to win the free one. But we should have that out on probably Boxing Day, I think is when we're going to give it away. So at the PME on Twitter, go retweet that and we're good to go. Smash the like, time code the episode, and stay tuned for more Pat Mayo experience coming at you in the future very soon. I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.
That Mayo experience! Experience!